Yes.
All right, well, let's get started. So, last time, you guys had started off at the obelisk where you had released what you thought was a mage who was trapped at the obelisk that Mordenkainen had wanted you guys to uh, investigate and possibly have them leave Avernus for fear of possibly stepping on his toes as a rival mage. You guys released him from his prison, but then discovered he was actually a Balgara that was disguising himself as a mage. You then defeated the Balgara and were able to obtain some of his demon ichor as he melted into a pool. He then returned, and Mordenkainen was pleased and revealed some information to you guys about where you might find some more leads on finding Zariel's sword and the Bleeding Citadel. Um, with that information, you guys started to travel towards the Crypt of the Hellriders, which you felt was the next best lead. But you came across the Demon Zapper, which was on your way there. You then had an interaction with a djinn that had surprised Harry a little bit with some backstory information of a connection with his patron. And you had also discovered that it was a unicorn that was charging the Demon Zapper. And you made a tentative deal with this djinn that you may go to the Bone Brambles and find Red Ruth to see if there's any way out of the contract that the djinn had made with Bell. And you guys then began traveling to the Bone Brambles, which is where we left off last time. So as you guys approach the Bone Brambles, what you guys see is a maze of warped trees and bone-like vines that stretches before you. It's almost like a large dome of these vines and bones. Calcified corpses merge with the trees, covered in fungal pods that feed on the blood oozing through the undergrowth. Here and there, you do see narrow paths that wind deeper into the woods. So what would you guys like to do?
Are we sure we're going the right way?
Aren't
We
you
have
the
a
fire
compass?
leader? You tell me. Oh yeah.
Don't we-
Where are we going again?
Or Babbles?
There's
I think
another
we're here.
hag that we're gonna go.
Yeah, but
There's-
the compass needs a location.
Oh, that's
not
right. It only
direction.
gives us the absolute direction, not the relative direction.
Well, we need a location too, not a person.
Well, the location was the Bone Bramble. We're here, right? But we're probably gonna get lost in the forest.
Wouldn't be the first
Or-
time.
I thought I'm sorry. I thought we got the location of where the person that we're going to see, where they.
No, we got the general location, but not
Where are we
her
going?
actual location.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can move in more deep.
Yeah.
I mean, can we? Is it thick?
Do you
Is it
want to
like-
fly up a little bit to see if you can see like over? If you have a little more of an
Landmarks?
overview.
That's true.
Sure.
I'll go up with Harry.
Yeah, you guys fly up, and you do see that this is indeed a fully covered semicircle of a dome. Again, you see, very thick, sharp brambles that entrench this and seem to block out any light. That it's thick enough that it blocks out any light that protrudes into it. And you don't see any openings from the top. You only see a few openings on each side. It appears as you kind of look around it, you see there appear to be 5 different entrances. There's one that is directly to the north, one to the northeast, one to the southeast, one to the south, and one to the west. No, sorry, one to the east. So yeah,
Looks like it's designed
northwest,
for 5 people.
southwest, south, north, and then east. And
Well,
you
Jar, it
guys,
looks
you
like,
guys drove up to the eastern one. That's the closest one you guys are to.
Well, Jar, it looks like it's designed for 5 people to split up and enter.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna split up. We don't want to get
Oh,
lost.
thank you. Let's just keep going south.
Hey, you're down there. You keep your trap shut. I don't know, Jar. We might be able to
How about
handle
this?
something here.
You stay up in the air, and then if you see, we'll continue on the ground. And if you see some weird thing, just shout at us. We'll go slow.
Okay,
Just
that sounds like a plan.
well, I mean, and I don't know. I guess we'll take this road. Is it like an opening? It's like a lane, or
It's not an opening big enough for your war machine. If you
oh,
want
it's
to,
only, so it's
if you want to enter the bone brambles, you'll have to leave your war machine outside.
okay.
No.
What if I
Okay.
just blow up a hole in the middle of the bone brambles and we teleport it in?
You can certainly try.
What are the bone brambles made out of, Jay?
Man,
Bone.
Famous
Little
last
jar.
words from your GM.
This is your chance to intervene and prevent us from doing something that'll backfire in our faces. I say that as somebody who regularly proposes things that end up backfiring in our faces.
How many times do you think I would have to shatter to make a clearing of the bone brambles? And how many fucking large monsters do you think would hear that before I made a hole in the bramble?
All of them are gonna flee out of it into our face.
Hmm.
Oh,
Turns out
okay.
there's a Tarrasque somewhere in the middle of this thing. Like, yeah, bye.
All right. So it's like a little path. Okay.
The Tarrasques would probably
Big enough
be a-
for one person probably to walk through at a time.
Okay. That makes a
I
lot
don't
more
think
sense.
I'd be able to see you from the air, old Jar, unless you were like holding something
Well, we're-
really shiny or something that like
Well,
produced light through the brambles.
I do have my light bringer.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, actually, I want to try something before that. Hold
I'm
up.
down to try multiple things
All right.
before we
I
enter.
go down. I'll take out Hugh, and I'll try to hit one of the brushes. Or I'll hit a brush. And then
Yeah, that would hit. So for 13 damage.
We're just beating the shit out of some trees.
well, I just want to make sure. Are these actually like bone, right? Like bone.
So real quick, make a beating around the bush dad pun.
All I can
Yeah.
think of is
He's
like
trying to bone
the
bone.
Ent from Lord of the Rings. I'm afraid of like.
I wanna
look
look
for it.
Lower your axe.
I
So
want
yeah,
to look basically.
you nearly destroy the set of thorns that are on there. And I will have you make a
See? Be nice to the
a
tree.
dexterity saving throw
I mean, if
Okay.
he can kill it with his
with
weapon,
advantage.
we could probably kill it by driving through them.
15.
Yeah. So after you strike, the vines and thorns quickly whip out towards you as if they're trying to wrap you up and pull you into them, and you just narrowly dodge them.
Oh. Okay. Do they look like? Are they actually like vines, or they're like I want to know like the composition, right? Like when you chop bone, you can see the marrow. When you chop wood, you can see like the rings. What does this look
How
like?
often do you chop bone that you can see marrow in?
I mean, every time I eat chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem like they're a weird combination of natural vine-like material and bone. They're certainly harder than vines. I would almost say that they're vine-like structures that are more of a bone-like material. It's very strange and foreign to you, but it has this weird It has this weird sense of corrupted. Well, actually, you know what? I'll have you make a nature check.
Nature check. Okay.
That's what you can just see with your basic eyes, but you know, to know more, we'll see. 10. Yeah, you're not really sure of it more than that. Other than that, it's very strange and foreign to you.
Also, you just want to make sure it's a plant, right? Or because Huey,
With
I
a
think.
10, you're not sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure it's a plant. All right.
Who the
Huh,
fuck
that's
is
weird.
Huey?
Oh, you know, Hugh, not Huey, Hugh, but I call it Huey.
Yeah,
It's
Hugh
my
is
battle axe.
his battle axe.
Oh. I mean, I'm not telling you you can't call your battle axe Huey. I was just asking who it is.
Who's this Huey guy?
Anyways,
Intern.
okay, so I guess don't attack the forest, and if you do, make sure you.
I'm still up in the air waiting for you to turn your light on.
Okay. Well,
Like you'll be
I'll
feeling
tell the rest of
uneasy.
the group. I think we're gonna have to go by foot and make sure not to get tangled up, or not. Make sure not to cut our way through these shrubs, because they will attack us, as you saw. Let me. I'll take out Lightbringer, and I guess, cast light from it.
Can I see Lightbringer from up here, or am I still just waiting to see something shiny?
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say you can see it from where you are.
Okay. I think the goal is that even when they get lost under the brambles, that I might be able to see like faint lights shining up through. But you did say the brambles were rather thick, so I imagine I'll lose most sight of the party.
Well, do I go first, or? I think Lulu should stay up in the air with Harry. You know, with one.
How high are the brambles before I'm above the brambles, by the way?
The dome is probably about 60 feet at its zenith.
Okay. So I'm
Wow.
gonna try and stay like roughly 5 feet away from the brambles, but so that they're not obscuring my vision in any direction, like 5 feet above them. I mean, this
Right
of
then,
course
I guess I'll go in first. Uh,
is Lulu coming up here.
yeah, I think she's gonna go.
Yeah, she would
It's
fly
better
up
if
there
she.
with you if you
All right.
asked her to.
I'll move in.
Mateo would follow you.
I'll,
Oh man,
Okay,
let-
guys, it splits right in the
me and
beginning.
him.
just gonna put myself on the side of the party, I guess, like in the bramble walls.
What do you think, Mateo? You guys are good.
Oh, do you mean on the inside? How tall is it?
No, I meant on the outside because I'm like I want to be like right like 40, 60 feet above them right here. I was
Okay,
just
yeah,
asking.
you can't see the once they go in, you cannot see the light through the brambles.
I can't.
No, you are only able to see it out well as outside. Yeah, you can't see through the brambles; it's too thick.
How tall is it on the inside?
Only about 9 feet. It's pretty small. Like Oljar's risking his horns on top, touching these things as he walks by.
I mean, fuck it. He didn't tell me to follow him down there when I lost sight of him, so I guess I'm just up here with Lulu, just waiting for something to happen.
Alright. I want to check for. How do you call it? Alright. Yeah. Alright. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use bolstering magic to give myself a D3. And then I'm gonna check for any like tracks on the ground. So I'm gonna fill myself with it with like magical energy and then try to see if there's like tracks that lead one way or another. Or any signs of like passage.
Okay.
Alright. Is that nature or
Survive.
perception survival? D3. Shit. Oh. Keep forgetting /R, right? So just roll. D. Ooh, 13.
You don't really see anything. You get the sense that there's not a lot of traffic through these brambles. But you guys have taken a few steps in, and you don't really hear anything. The thorns aligning the outside of the walls in this pathway don't seem to be reacting to you necessarily.
I guess I'll go. I'll go down,
Okay.
and then I'll tell Tin and Ezra to hold the basically the little passage here area.
Oh, okay.
We want to make sure that whenever we run back.
Yeah, we can get a kind of a. I think I should be able to get a kind of a clear line of
Shot.
fire
Yeah.
across several of
All
those.
right. Mattel, you can follow me. Watch out for those branches.
Yeah, I'll do right here. So let's see.
Lulu, do you have the sending spell?
No, I don't know that one.
It splits again up in front.
Can you see Oljar from here?
No.
Well, he told me to watch from above, so I don't know what.
It ends right here,
Yep.
and then it just
It
continues
does
down.
continue to the south, yeah.
Okay. I guess the path continues south. We'll double back. Here actually, I'm gonna do something. Is the ground cleared, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We should drop something or drop like leave some type of crumb or.
Hmm.
What do you guys think?
Good idea.
Or tie like.
Let's see.
You know what? I'm gonna use one of my torches and just plant it like straight on the ground.
Or an arrow.
Or actually, yeah, you're right. Actually, I don't have an arrow. You guys have an arrow?
Yeah, I've got an arrow.
All right. I'll plant it straight here, here on the ground,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
we'll double back. Oh, double back, guys. Want to make sure that there's no problems up ahead. All right. Doesn't lead to a dead end. It just leads more south, Tim. We'll head up north on this one. Make sure maybe it loops around. Maybe, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I see anything moving like off in the distance? Is that something I can maybe?
You just want to make sure those are dead bodies, right?
Yes. Not fresh. Mostly still skeletonized. But yes,
Okay.
you do see occasionally as you're going by, you'll see a body that has been.
Just bodies, right? There's no like other things.
Nope.
I
Alright.
guess since I'm up here watching the thing, I'm gonna ask Mar, like, hey Mar, can you go in there so I can communicate with Oljar, please?
Okay, I guess.
That's pretty much it, just so I can communicate. You can run away if it gets dangerous.
He flies down and kind of hops in here and says, "Hey,
What?
Harry wanted me to come down here so he could talk to you through me, I guess."
Okay. Can he see anything from above?
Mar asks you that telepathically, Harry.
Yeah, wide and clear. Can see everything.
Okay, that's
For like
good.
a mile.
And yeah, Tim, if you wanted to look around and on the outside to see if you could see anything coming, you can make a perception check.
Okay.
All right, I'll check, or I'll try to like poke and check the bodies for any like items or something like that. I'll make an investigation check.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know nothing.
Yeah, you don't
It's a
see
pile of
anything.
bones.
Just rotting, long rotting corpses. And Tim, you kind of take a step back out and you kind of look around and look out with your keen elven sight, and you are very confident that there is nothing out there. You don't
Just
see
the
anything
way
coming in
I
your
like
direction.
it.
How's it going down there, Tim?
Yo, yo, yo.
And Oljar, you find a dead end.
Dead
Okay.
end.
There's a dead end
no.
over here.
Died of disappointment. And y'all.
Alright.
You do notice there does appear to be more blood pooling over here than in normal places.
Huh.
I mean, there's kind of blood everywhere. Like, this is a very bloody path. And, this whole thing is made up of bones. And occasionally you do see blood kind of pouring out of some of this. But, yeah, you see a large pooling of it seeping into this wall of brambles.
Dead end over there, but there's a lot of blood, which honestly, kind of suspicious, if you ask me. What do you think, Ezreal?
Guess we'll bramble on.
There it is.
Yeah, it seems odd to me to see a lot of blood.
Alright then, I guess it's time for us to move forward then. I didn't see no enemies, so just make sure not to attack the brushes.
Well, Jar, as you walk through this area, it is a little
Yeah.
tighter than the rest.
Okay.
But you're still able to make your way carefully through it without touching any of the brambles.
Okay.
As Ezra just dives right into the wall. No, I'm kidding.
Ah! I can't see very much.
Because you're not on the path.
Oh.
Or
I see, that's the
do you
path.
have dark vision is the question.
I do.
No. Well, you're supposed to, but you don't.
Also, technically, I'm a
There.
light too.
How's that?
Nothing changed.
No? It's weird.
I can see a little bit of the path.
Yeah, you should be able to see like this.
That's what I can see too.
Okay, yeah, because that's all there is.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Alright. Ezra, Mateo, Imp, let's move forward.
Right.
Ooh.
Hey, Mar, you make sure you're getting respect down there, by the way. I'm not here to make sure you're good.
Is it a dead end?
It is indeed.
In the
Alright.
world.
There's another dead end over here with blood.
Can I just look around a little bit for any
Yeah,
kind
go
of
for it.
passageway or
Yeah, me too.
then
Okay, I assist him.
Yes. Ezra, make an investigation check with advantage.
can I guide myself too?
Sure.
Okay.
They could go into Sherlock Holmes mode.
Hi. Investigate with advantage.
Hey,
Ooh.
20.
23. Yeah. So you actually walk up to here, Ezra. which appears to be the actual end of this pathway. Um, and you kind of you gingerly go around the outside of the brambles, and you surmise from the two paths that you've been down so far that this does appear to be a maze. You can imagine that it could be possible for you to try to break through parts of the mazes, but that has advantages and disadvantages. Is what you get with a 23. But there does not appear to be any secret pathway through. You either have to you surmise that you either have to make your way through the maze, or you have to try to crash your way through it.
I see. Hey guys.
Happening.
So, yeah. So there's no I can't find any necessarily passage through, but based on what we've seen so far, I think we're in a maze. And I mean, we could try to bust through like what you did earlier, Old Jar, but I think we'd be, facing the same challenge of getting stuck in the brambles. Or we can just keep working the maze here. So
It'll be nice if we had like a good clearing area.
yeah.
You know. Because so when I chopped down the bramble earlier, did it grow back as quickly, or it's chopped off?
You chopped off the part that you swung at.
Yeah.
But then it's almost like the brambles around it lashed out at you and then returned to where it was.
But the parts that are chopped off,
they were gone. Yes.
Okay. So I guess we can. Make a clearing then, guys, if we have to, with maybe a spell or something. I don't think fire will probably work on this, because I don't think fire works in hell all that well.
Just try before we start.
Yeah, finish the other path.
Destroying, yeah, maybe just try all of the paths we can.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, the path to the south, I didn't go all the way. So I guess that'll be the best bet. It didn't end, like, it had like a little end, but then it kind of looped even more south.
How's it going down there, Mar?
Telepathically, you hear these guys are fumbling around this place like idiots.
That sounds.
It's a maze.
That sounds right. I'm gonna, Mar, tell him I'm gonna do a loop around to see if any of the other entrances look like better ideas.
Okay.
You just proceed to not tell him that.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll head south, guys. There's more passage going that way. And if maybe we do find a secret way, maybe we don't. As long as there's a clearing that we could try to open up a path,
We tried walking around it.
You guys kind of did do a roundabout, and you saw 5 different entrances as you went around. And Lulu's just flying with you, Harry. She's staying wherever you are.
This one does not look like a good entrance here.
There you go. You head south. Where's
Okay.
the rest of the group? It's just me and Ezra.
They're coming.
I'm here.
Okay.
I can only make so many things at a time. Sorry.
Yeah.
This one down here looks nice.
All right. I guess the path does continue.
Harry, you start to see a light coming from that part of the tunnel.
From this south one?
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm gonna fly down in there.
Okay.
Okay, the road splits here.
Hey, look! Oljar!
Hey, Harry! How was the view up? Did you see us go through the shrubs?
No, I couldn't see anything. I actually was looking for a better entrance choice, and I just flew down right here and saw you.
Is this a good entrance choice?
It looks more wide open than the other ones.
There is sort of a large tree to my northeast. Is that of any significance?
Oh yeah, you're not
I
supposed
don't
to be
know. I
there.
can. Oh,
You walked off the path.
oops. Sorry.
Right. Well, we can go the path that Harry's looking, or where you're going, Ezra.
Yeah, there also
Oh.
looked like a really massive tree to like the northern side or the opposite side of whatever this is. I don't really know what cardinal directions are down here.
Well, it seems like Ezra's path goes north, so we'll go that way.
Well, that might just head to that other exit.
We'll double check just in case. All right, hold down the fort, Harry.
Okay.
I'll watch with you.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say, honestly, if I've ever seen a place that looks like it's good for splitting up in, it would probably be this one, Old Jar.
Does
We'll be here waiting for you when you run into a dead end.
all right.
Whoa.
Yeah, if y'all are
Well-
like all six in a line in front of me and there's something to fight in front of you, like, am I supposed to weave an Eldritch Blast past you?
I'll just wait at this entrance and I'll let you know
if anything changes.
I guess the path ends. Oh no, there's a little path down here. Nope, it ends over here.
Yep, another dead end.
Another dead end. Okay.
I
Do you
whisper
see
to
anything,
Harry.
Ezra?
Fuckers.
What'd you say, Alger?
Did you see anything?
No.
No. Oh, this maze is getting confusing.
Tim, do you have any paper?
I don't even know what paper is, honestly. I mean, I remember my monk buddy mentioning some of it, that it was like part of one of those books I was like, kind of interested in. But I just used to use animal skins, to be honest.
Do you have any animal skins?
Oh, actually, so many. I'm happy you asked.
You'd be
And I
aware.
pull out
You'd,
some,
be,
like,
you'd be
tan-
aware of parchment.
I mean, that parchment is animal skin, so yeah.
Sure.
Do you have any ink?
Hell yeah, brother. And then I just like pull in
You do?
basically some.
Are you guys trying to make a map? I can make a map.
No.
Of this
I
place?
write command word is yup uppa on the thing. And I tie it around the broom and I tell it to go back to where Lulu was.
Well, no, Lulu's with you.
Oh, she
Oh, okay.
came back down here.
Yeah, sorry. She would have followed you. Yeah,
Well, then I don't do any of that,
my bad.
including
I like this idea that
asking
you
for the ink.
like valet key thing that you handed off and like.
I was gonna tell
yes,
it to go up there.
The code word is yup but be gentle with it.
Well, you could send it back to me if you're in danger. You can say, yup, uppa, go like to the entrance. And I'd be able to be like, oh shit, uppa came back without me asking.
All right, guys. It's there's just ends that way.
Yeah, I bet
point-
it's this way.
Yeah. All right, we'll follow you, Harry.
It's very hard. Is this a 2 wide one? Or am I fucking up like repeatedly?
No, you're good.
It's like 1.5.
Yeah, this one's a little bit bigger than the previous ones.
Is this like blocking my path here?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, I guess you're right, Harry. This is.
Yeah, I've got like a kind of a sense of the size, Old Jar. I'm pretty sure if we take a right here, we're gonna go back to that other entrance I was telling you about earlier.
All right.
Hey Mar, how
We'll
about
check-
you head back to the siege engine and just hang out there? Let me know if you're in any danger.
Okay. And
Yeah, thanks, man.
he goes down. And,
Oh.
Grab a snack or something if you need food.
No, this is the end right here.
Where? That's what I just
Over
said.
here. No, you said there might be an exit. There's no exit.
I'm going this way. Which possibly leads to another map.
Oh.
Ah, shit.
you find yourself back outside the maze, outside the bone brambles.
Oh.
Nice.
So I guess we searched everything. So you think there might be just
You guys know there is
secret?
one. There is one more entrance to the north.
Yup, papa.
To the northeast. Oh, sorry, northwest.
Northeast.
The northwest. Sorry.
Oh, what about this one? Or is this the northwest?
This one. Yes, that is the one. You guys
What
have
about
not
the one to the-
investigated that entrance yet.
Did they reach around to the one from the north earlier?
No, they haven't reached there yet.
Okay.
But you saw it. But yeah.
So I guess we'll follow Harry.
All right. So yeah, he's up at the top of that.
Yeah, I just fucking whisked myself away.
Okay.
Oljar, I think we should do like a buddy link, like not like a complete split up system, right? But like maybe like a 20-foot like sightline system. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So basically,
Like
me,
I'm gonna walk
Ezra,
around this
me
path.
one way, Ezra's another, and then we'll split up.
Yeah, so
That's what I'm
I can walk to here,
Yeah.
and then like I can still see all the way down to Ezra,
Yeah.
and then it looks like there's maybe a pathway this way, but if you want to check that way, and
I'll
then
check that.
Ezra can go down and check more that way. Yo, Ezra, turn right there. Now, Tim, you keep an eye on him.
All right.
We're doing a buddy link system. Now, Lulu, you sit at that split entrance there so we can all see each other.
Right. So I guess I'll go more down, Harry, and then you see me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see Lulu from here.
Can you still see me?
No, I'm pretty sure you're wrapping around the brambles here.
Oh shit.
I can hear you.
Okay, I guess I'm not that far. I'll just continue. If you hear me scream, you know what's going on.
Don't go too far.
Think that this might be a dead end over here as well.
You yell dead end. I yell
Not
dead
really
end to
dead end.
Lulu. Lulu yells dead end to Tim. Tim yells dead end to Ezra.
We're not hitting a dead end.
Mateo got big.
Yeah, I messed up his. And I can't fix it.
I got come around the corner. I'm just like, Mateo.
You got Jack.
Like,
He had a growth spurt.
I can totally believe that.
Can I could try. Can I try casting message? I don't know how far I
sorry.
am away from.
You actually went. Did you go off the path?
I just
don't-
did. Just 10. If you saw me, I
you
actually...
you did just a little bit. Sorry.
Can't
Well,
can't
let's
really.
see.
do
I
that.
can actually look.
I accidentally.
Yeah,
clipped
that's a
through
really
the wall.
small pathway, but yes. So yeah, that's where you are currently. There's a wall. There's a wall to your south. It's
Oh,
just,
okay,
it's,
just
where
to
you're
the-
going is a very tight, narrow route right now, Ezra.
Okay.
But
So
it
it's
does
just that-
it does continue this way,
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
but it does not continue that way. That is
I
a
see.
wall.
So.
In fact, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scale you down just a little. To better represent. Oh, come on. There we go.
Hey guys.
How'd you get so small?
This way.
Hey, Link. What the heck?
I popped over. What's happening?
I'm very small too now.
Oljar, let's go back and meet up with Lulu. Lulu, can you
Alright.
still see them?
Can I message to? I'll try Harry. I don't know how far away he is.
You could certainly try. Yeah.
I'll try. Hey Harry, we're not hitting a dead end this way.
Did that reach me?
Yeah.
Oh good.
Yeah. You hear Ezra.
Okay.
Lulu says they went down this way and they haven't come back.
Well,
You think they might
let's
be in
go-
trouble?
Let's go catch up to them, or maybe they found the right way.
All right.
Yeah,
Lead the way.
nothing's happened. Nothing's
Come
happened,
on,
but
Avernus. We're on the way. Way.
hard
Alright.
to tell what I'm seeing here.
Oh. Come on, Avernus. Everybody, let's go.
Am
Come
I
on,
doing
let's
okay
get
here?
to it.
Yep.
Jay?
I know that we can do it.
So hold on, while you guys, I'm gonna scale you down just a little, so you could fit better through the. Because you got your guys' icons are just a little big for where you're going.
Honey, I Shrunk the Adventurers.
Whee!
And then there's big giant Lulu coming through here.
Bomb.
I think I'm on a wall there.
You are, yeah. That's why, yeah. So it's good for you guys at this point to hold Alt while you move your characters, because then you can move them
Yeah.
precisely between the lines here. 'Cause it's very tight.
Oh wow.
So you guys might actually jump line of sight a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
This is
Mateo.
very-
Hey,
Where?
They
Wow,
went-
you
they
guys
went
are
this
really
way.
picking. You guys are really picking a tight path.
That might be necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. How smart is this witch? Oh, I
Hag.
see. I see Tim. Or Hag, yeah.
You see the hag?
No, I see Tim.
Oh,
Is he this way?
Oh.
I
What do you see, Harry?
don't know. Just fucking around.
Oh.
I'm not going too far this way, old jar. I was
Okay.
just seeing if. I don't know if they went this way yet.
nope, out of bounds.
Fuck it. Don't let me drag myself.
What do you? So what's going on over here, Tim? More paths.
So many more
Mateo
paths.
looks distorted.
Have you guys gone
Yeah,
north?
I keep dragging him, and yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, I'll take a quick look.
Gosh darn
Whoa, Mateo!
it. Hush,
It's so big.
Mateo.
Mate-
Dude.
the witch cast the.
Gosh darn it.
spell,
Lulu did
Mateo.
it too. Ah.
Oh my God, Lulu! They have, was it gigantism? Look how big Lulu has
Gigantism?
become. Yeah.
I think I'm getting into somewhere here.
Tim, where are we going? Tim just teleported extremely far, and now I'm lost.
Here,
Oh,
here.
thank you.
You go here, you come through here, you're going down here, and then you find everybody. There you go.
Lulu, you're massive. She's bigger than the normal tokens.
There you
No,
go.
she's
Now
just
she's
flying up high in the air, and so that she's closer
It's
to
a
our point
forced
of view.
perspective kind of thing.
Exactly.
Wait, where did Ezra go? Oh, never mind. I found the path.
Exploring.
He went
I
this way,
guess.
guys. Don't Ezra!
Hey,
I scream out.
I'm
Ezra!
here. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh! Hey, how's it going?
Well, just trying to
Look
figure
around.
out where these things go. Yeah.
Yeah,
More.
I'm getting confused too.
There's still a path this way.
Hey, there's a path over here too.
A lot of paths here.
You find a dead end, Ultra.
Oh,
Oh, going this way, guys.
there's a dead end over here. Dead end over here, Harry.
What
Hey,
about
guys,
this
come,
way?
Come this way.
This way? Alright,
Well,
I'll follow Harry.
Or at least somebody come with me, so I'm not by myself. If I get.
I don't even know where I just went.
Oh. Follow
Just
me,
following the-
Lulu.
Was that you, Jay, or did I just accidentally walk through the wall?
No, that was me. I
Oh.
moved you. I was trying to move Lulu.
Ah!
Oh,
Yeah. Hey guys.
I think we found.
Can't
her or
see
him or.
anything else. I can't tell if I'm.
A
What should I do,
cave-like hovel lies at the center of this maze. Hundreds of bones and body parts hang by twine from the entrance. And the ceiling is strung with garland made of bloody entrails. The air buzzes with flies. Let's see. And you see, sitting in the center of this little, I might loosely call it a living space.
You guys want to move closer?
I'm waiting for Mateo to get the fuck out of the way.
Oh.
Oh shit! She's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
As you all turn and kind of look on this gruesome spectacle, and you know this is not as small as it's represented on the map, right? Like,
Did
here,
you just refer to this creature as a gruesome spectacle?
no, but the hovel.
Oh, I was like, damn, that's fucked up.
But yeah, you do see this evil looking entity, sort of. You see horns that protrude from each from the top on the top sides of each forehead that kind of curl back into the long black stringy looking hair. You see multiple disfigured arms that appear to be coming from different portions from under this sort of pale reddish kind of robe. You see a necklace of what look to be infant skulls that are adorned around this creature's neck. And the infants appear to be constantly chattering nursery rhymes, but at a very, very low volume to where you can barely make it out. And you see her kind of turn and look up as you all kind of turn the corner in the brambles and see this clearing. And she says, "Ah, mortals. I haven't seen any mortals come through here and make it to the center of my brambles in quite a long time."
It wasn't that hard, honestly. The
I mean,
brambles were a lovely stroll.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I mean, it was either walk or blast our way through here. But
Well, I'm glad you didn't blast your way through. I work hard on maintaining the brambles.
so, are these actual bones or they're like wood? I point at the brambles.
Why
They're a
can't
bit
they
of
be
both,
bone wood?
actually?
Huh.
My own signature creation. Well, what
How do you-
brings you all here? You must have had a reason to brave the brambles.
Well, we're here if you know anything about a sword.
Hmm.
The sword of Zerial?
Well, I know certainly of Zerial. I'm not familiar with her sword, though, I must say. Typically, one of my bailiwicks, as you might call it, is the ability to divine information, though. For the right price, I might be able to divine some information on the location or where you might seek what you are looking for.
See,
We
guys,
we
now
have
we're here for
tried
two
divination
different
before. It
reasons.
seems the sword has some protection around it.
Ah.
So we won't need that. Oh, what is it, Ezra? Sorry. I mean, not Ezra, Harry.
It's like, damn, did I just grow skin? I guess I already have skin. Did I just shed my hair?
You lost your ears.
I mean, we're here for other information, though, Oljar. I think Ezra
Yeah.
wanted some information on something.
Yeah,
Why else would we come here?
Well, yeah, at least one of the things we wanted to ask about, we had a chat with a djinn.
It was a Tao, even.
And yeah, he's trying to work out a way to find a way out of an agreement he made with Zerial, and wondered if you might have information about how we could help him out of that.
Yeah, he said that you might be able to endow us with a way to help him.
I suppose I could tell you exactly how to free the Tao from his or from her pact, rather.
Would it be like possibly cheaper if you were vague about it?
Well, let's let her answer first.
I have a fairly simple request. If you were to accomplish this task for me, I would be glad to give you the information in return.
Okay.
What's the task?
She looks around and she kind of looks down at herself, kind of splaying her arms out. And by the way, you guys, having been here for a couple of minutes, are starting to really having to hold your gourd down from the stench and the bloody scene amongst you. And she says, "Well, I'm a bit overdue for my bath. It's been a couple of centuries since I last had a good wash."
Like somebody used prestidigitation.
Oh no.
Well, what kind of baths do you like?
I'm afraid that won't do it. In order for me to get the type of bath that can clean the gore that you see in front of you, I will have to make a visit to the infernal rapture in the Wandering Emporium.
Oh, to the Wandering Emporium? That's where we were going next. You gonna come with us?
Unfortunately, I cannot leave my hovel unguarded. If you are able to travel to the Wandering Emporium and arrange and pay for a pampering session, then come back here and agree to guard my hovel while I am gone for the few hours it will take, then I will give you the information you seek.
Everybody needs a spa day once in a while, Tim says. And then as a reaction, he's going to throw up.
Okay. So, to reiterate, you're asking us to go to the Emporium, purchase the bath treatment that you're looking to have.
It's a bubble bath fetch quest, okay?
Come back, guard your spot here while you go and partake in that, and then you will come back. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I must warn you, there are beings that are interested in destroying my lovely brambles and everything, and particularly here in the center. There's
Why
a
would
chance.
you want to destroy these?
There's a chance that when I leave, those vengeful creatures might come and try to destroy it. So there may be a bit of risk involved in defending my hovel.
Is there a name to these people? Or like, I hope it's not Zerial who's coming down here
Oh,
to
no. I haven't had any connection directly with such a strong being. Mine are more of the undead and nature variety.
Is it
Possibly
because
the
you
things you harvested these bones from, or
hope they're not coming
Possibly.
back?
what a whimsical I was just given from this hag.
Well,
But yes, if you could go speak with Mahadi at the Wandering Emporium. He's the one who not only runs the Wandering Emporium itself, but also is specifically in charge of the wonderful um, uh, at the Infernal Rapture.
Infernal Rapture.
I must admit, it's been a long time. I'm not sure what he's charging these days.
Do you like sink in like molten or lava or something?
That seems a bit personal.
Wait,
Yeah, Oljar, just let it go.
Well, I mean,
well,
I've got some magic. Like, if it's something I could do, I'd be happy to do it for you.
I'm afraid you will lack the resources.
I don't know. I'm a pretty resourceful guy.
I was gonna say keep it in your pants, Harry, but I don't think you were going that way.
I don't think so. But as I said, if you're able to procure the treatment and return to guard for a few hours my hovel, then I will give you the information free of charge. I also do very much enjoy exchanging for soul coins. I have great use for them. If you ever have any extra, and she kind of motions to some of her less gory portions of her little hovel, and you can see there is actually what looks to be a small desk with some alchemy supplies. She says, "I am a bit of a potion maker as well. I'd be happy to
Potion.
trade soul coins for any potions that you may be interested in me creating while you're out on your quest."
You guys need potions?
Well, coins
Well.
are very valuable, so these potions better be like high end.
Well, I'd be willing to trade you one soul coin for any of the more common or uncommon potions in existence. If you wanted me to make a rare potion, though, I would require 2 soul coins.
How many do we have?
A lot, 5, I think.
Oh, I got it.
Tim?
Okay. We've actually been burning through them at a pretty good clip. We need to probably pause and kill somebody soon. We have 5 left.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's about only a week. No, like maybe like 2 weeks.
I mean, we burned through like 1.5.
Every
Getting
session.
here.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe thank you for the offer, but I think we're going to need to preserve what we have for the moment. We'll probably need a little bit even just for this trip to the Emporium. Which, by the way, do you happen to know the location of the Emporium at this point in time?
I imagine I could divine its location. And
that'd
she reaches out to one of her potion bottles. It looks like it's very red. It's very like red thick liquid, like much darker and thicker than like a healing potion. And she takes a piece of parchment and lays it out on the table and pours pours a bit of it out on. This is way too heroic music for this.
Right when she's
One
done
second.
pouring it out completely, I say, Ezra, that seems like a little bit of a waste. I have an infernal compass after all.
Well,
But
that tells us.
it makes it an invisible parchment with a dot on it, and she says, I can sense. I believe you have a map of Avernus. May I see it?
Yes, this is my map here. Created by me.
All right, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bring up the actual Avernus. Let's see.
He
we'll go
means
ahead.
copied by him.
Well, I made the map, did I not?
You made a copy of the map.
I made it.
You made the copy, yes.
Yes. Okay.
But that's different than being the person who made the map.
No, I'm not saying I made the original. I'm saying I
And the
made
dot goes right
map.
there on the map.
That's why I clarified.
Oh,
Not too far
Hold
from
on.
where you are.
I thought you were
Not too
pointing
far.
over. Thought you were pointing over. There's like another dot here by the Falcon. That was insane. Oh my.
So it appears as though the Emporium has moved since you last since you last thought of it, because it was northeast of the Tower of Herm, but it has now appeared to move to where it's not more than a couple days. Well, let's see.
Yeah, now lucky for us, it's just like a couple 100 yards away from that giant fucking Demogorgon.
Well, that's probably just an artist's rendering.
Yeah, old jar. Don't keep adding
Much-
monsters to the map.
Much like there's probably
no.
not a massive dead bug here, but it is a good indicator of what the demon zapper can do.
Hey guys, should we stop and like kill some critters along the way? Because we may want to buy stuff from this guy, and I don't think our normal gold will spend.
You mean this lovely lady?
no, he
Or you-
means
or
at the
you mean
Emporium.
Not the Emporium.
The Emporium.
We want to
Oh,
be able
okay.
to buy stuff. It's not only it's
Yeah, but this is a
You
big
think it'll-
place.
cash.
How are we gonna find like we've traveled like well above hundreds of miles, and we only found like one.
I don't think we were like seeking out creatures. I
Right.
think we were mostly.
I'd like to ask the hag if she knows what kind of currency they accept at the Emporium.
That would be a smart thing to ask.
Well, soul coins, of course, but gold and magic items and all sorts of trade will run through the Emporium. You see, the Emporium is a sort of a demi-plane. It sort of sits in between the lines of Avernus and the other planes of existence. It's not quite on Avernus. When you step through the doors, you're actually stepping into a different plane, but one that's only slightly off of this one.
Okay. So lots of people visit it, is what you're saying.
Correct. It is considered a neutral location where those who may have business to do with someone in Avernus may meet them there, or
Well,
anyone.
Do you think perchance if we stayed a while, we could trade some song and dance?
Don't get us kicked out
Hmm.
before we even get there.
Entertainment is probably not commonly traded at the Emporium. You would have to ask the people there. I suppose it depends
Why
on.
ask when we can sing?
Okay.
I'm taking a note from Disney.
Make a performance and a persuasion check. This is a collective DC.
What the heck? I didn't do that.
25's not terrible.
What? Wait a minute. What the
What?
heck?
Wait,
Oh no! Wait, nope, never
I'm
mind.
on like a
That was
completely
odd.
different. I didn't see Ezra's roll. I didn't even see you roll at all, Ezra. What are you talking about?
Dude, I don't know. My thing popped all the way up. Never mind.
My
Alright.
Yeah, my chat box keeps popping to the left.
Weird. Okay, well, anyway, she says, well, it depends on on how well you're able to persuade them, and how good your actual performances are. I would say you stand a chance.
I stand more than a chance when I break out into dance.
Let's get going.
I do a twirl.
Tim hops
A
on into
twirl
the
and a bow.
we get runs
Time
through the
to go.
maze and then like revs the engine.
Yeah, you guys are now familiar with the way the maze goes through, so you're able to make your way back out of the maze. And
There's only
return
one
just
way
the
to
open-
deal with
machine.
Julie Andrews
I was
wannabe.
gonna say, can't she just open the maze up?
Yeah, they're gonna have to anti-Disney me from now on. Sorry.
She cannot.
Ah,
They're set up the way they are. Yeah. She doesn't control the way, like, she can't move the maze. Though
I was about to
when
turn
you
the
mention
tag
though
into
if you
a-
mention that to her, she does kind of put on a thoughtful look, like, a maze
It's a good
that
idea.
transforms as you go through it. Interesting.
You've just completely fucked over the next group that comes here. Making
my
this
problem.
maze 8 times harder for them. That's what we should be doing. We should
The
be
maze is
increasing the
shifting.
difficulty. Yeah, we should be
Maze.
increasing the difficulty for every other party that comes after us here. As if Avernus didn't have enough challenges.
well, I guess
let's go.
let's go.
Okay, so you
Harry,
guys just making a beeline
the
for the
Emporium.
Wandering Emporium?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna call it 24 hours of travel and soul coin fuel.
I'm gonna
Four?
take a nap
Okay.
for like half of that, maybe
Yeah.
more. I'm gonna take a rabbit nap and sleep for the entire thing, actually.
Right, 24 hours means we're down another coin to 4.
We only go through a charge of the coin for 24 hours. That's what I
Yeah,
understand.
remember it's 3
And
charges,
they
right?
have 3 charges each.
Per coin. Okay, I was operating on for 72 hours. I had was down to 11 hours from the last coin. So,
Okay, so 72 minus 13.
It's so hard
59.
to be a rabbit.
61, yeah. So we're at 61. Yep. We've got this demon ichor thing, but I really don't want to use that unless we're in battle because our engine may explode.
All right then. Do we make it to? Oh, so I guess we make it to the Wonder Emporium.
You do indeed.
Yeah, that
How big is it? How does it look? How majestic or how like?
Well,
Shitty.
let me go ahead and give you a description of the place as you start to approach. A collection of brightly colored tents stands clustered together, creating an oasis of comfort amid the dread landscape of Avernus. Huge infernal war machines form a horseshoe about the tents, with curtains made of small rectangular iron plates and lamps dangling from chains strung between them. A soft, lifting music and wondrous smells drift across the hot winds, inviting a closer look.
Take a closer look.
I guess we are gonna go take a closer look. We're heading directly at it. You know what? Now that I think about it, what's his name?
Yahweh?
Not Yahweh.
That means Jesus.
No. What's it with? Who's the guy that we? Raga Draga. You know, putting some music on while we approach something. I think Raga Draga had like a good sense.
Oh, so you want now you want music. I see how it is.
Yes.
But this should be
I'm
happy
just-
music.
I can only sing on command. I see how it is. It's okay.
Welcoming music.
You want welcoming music?
Yeah, like, hey there,
Like-
everybody.
Like welcoming ourselves into your party, or welcoming people
Just-
on board, or like...
I was more thinking of like, hard drops.
Hmm.
So yeah, so as you guys pull up closer to it, you can see specifically that there are about 9 huge infernal war machines. These are the biggest that you've seen since you've been here, and they look actually like they're styled much like the demon grinder that you guys use, but they're much larger. They appear to have flamethrowers and stick sprayers instead of chompers and wrecking balls. And you see there's probably about 50 or 60 feet spread out in between them as they form this long horseshoe. There is an opening currently that is faced towards the south, so you guys are able to drive a little bit around to meet the entrance of it, which is not incredibly wide, but it appears as though they do not. There's no issue with you guys entering this area, which is probably spans a few hundred feet from one end to the other. But the entrance closes up to be probably around 50 feet as they form the end of that horseshoe. And immediately as you drive in, you guys notice a difference in the air. It is much more comfortable, and you look out and you still see the hellish landscape outside. It's not like you guys drove in and you're just completely in a different place, but you can tell the difference in the landscape. You no longer feel the presence of Avernus as you drive into this perimeter.
Sorry, I think they have your magic item.
What?
Your
Uh,
atmospheric sir.
And as you guys find a place to park your war machine, and you start to walk out, you see what looks to be a wealthy-looking merchant of a human walking towards you. He looks like he's very well dressed, and he approaches you with a nice smile, and he says, "Well, hail, adventurers! It's nice to see travelers. Welcome to the Wandering Emporium. I am Mahadi. I run the Wandering Emporium. I'm glad to have you as my guests."
Hati or a hot?
Adi?
Oh, okay.
Mahadi. It is.
Oh, Mahadi. Okay, I heard it
You
as
Mahadi!
a Hati.
Aha! Aha!
Thank you, Mahadi. It's great to be here. Wonderful place.
Well, thank you very much. I find that most people that come here are
Thank you.
nice and comfortable.
Absolutely.
Your AC bills must be out the wazoo.
Boy, have I got the magic item for you to sell.
Yeah, it's a simple spell, not unlike the. Oh man, now I'm forgetting it. This is not Mahadi forgetting the name of the spell. This is all me. Leoman's tiny hut. There we go. Not unlike the tiny hut spell, but on a much larger scale.
I guess it'll be a big hut.
Oh, it's beautiful here. But Harry, you said something about a magic item you wanted to show him? To show Mahadi?
Yeah, Mahadi, I was just curious if, I just designed a magic item on the material plane. I don't know if you'd be interested in carrying it, but you said it's rather comfortable here. As we both know, it's not rather comfortable everywhere else. I've designed a magic item and paid for the research and development. It's basically a small globe. Anyone can use it. You don't have to be a a wizard or a specialist of any kind, and it will regulate the temperature in the nearby vicinity, hot or cold. I don't know if you'd be interested in carrying that in your store, but maybe we could come up with some kind of deal where I can get you some of those to sell, and you can procure me a way to get them to you.
Do you have one of these items?
Unfortunately, the research and development ended after I entered Avernus. So all the items are on the material plane right now, and we just came from Avernus. We don't quite know how to get back to the material plane at this exact point in time. Possibly you do know how to manage that.
I don't have any direct connections to the mortal plane in terms of transportation. People often can use this as a waypoint. People are familiar with the Wandering Emporium. If they were to use such a spell that allows them to travel between planes, they do have the ability to travel directly here. In fact, we have a mobile teleportation circle that we carry in one of our war machines that allows people to anchor themselves directly to this mobile location.
Okay.
Pretty
Well, that's
nice.
definitely how I could get them to you in the future, I suppose. Would I have to memorize the like runes or something to get someone with teleportation circle to help me teleport here?
We have the ability to copy the rune on the teleportation circle that gives access to it. I suppose if things go well, if things go well with your visit, we could perhaps give that to you before you leave, so that you have the ability to come back or send things back here if you wish.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, that sounds like a great plan, and I can't think of a better place to sell the Harry Daggerhop III orb out of. Still working on that name, though.
For the Hopatron.
The HDH3.
Well,
I
talking
like
about
the
magic
HDH3.
items,
Hopatron 3000.
I have this magic helm here. So it's from, how do you call it? It's basically
Oh.
I forgot the name of it.
You're talking about the Helm of Torm.
The helm of Torum. How much? How much will something get me for this?
Trade.
That's a. Last time I wore it, gives you a headache, but you see things. I guess it'll be good for men of faith.
I'm trying to find that item in here. It's not a helm of telepathy. I can't seem to find the Helm of Torm.
It might not be a magic item we're supposed to keep.
Well, let me see if I can find it online. Yeah, I'm just gonna score it the same as the Helm of Telepathy.
Is this Star Wars?
It sounds like.
No, this is WoW.
Really? What the?
No.
Does sound like Star Wars. When they're in the train, Luke.
No way. This is World of Warcraft music.
Now switching to.
Oh no, it's Pillars of
Final
Eternity.
Fantasy 7. It's FF7.
No.
Pillars?
Right?
This song is called Wodica by Justin Bell. It's a Pillars of Eternity song.
Oh, Pillars of Eternity. I've heard it.
I've just listened to it so much while I've been playing WoW, because they play this on Critical Role a lot.
Ah, okay.
But in terms of rarity, we're just going to put it the same as the Helm of Telepathy, which makes it an uncommon magic item. It says, well, this would be worth a few hundred gold, I would say. It's powerful in that it allows you to commune directly with Helm, which could be useful for certain men of more holy nature, but it's important for me to mention as you enter our emporium. By the way, we have only one simple rule, as you are here, that any debt that you incur while you're here in the emporium, that you pay it and are even before you leave.
Oh, that's reasonable.
No pay as you go, no layaway.
There certainly are vendors here, including myself, that will be willing to set up a tab if you're not willing to pay things as you go. But as I mentioned, you must pay before you leave.
So you get visitors then from all kinds of places. You said you deal in gold.
We
we're
do
currently
indeed.
in Avernus, so we have spirit coins.
Ah, yes, soul coins are particularly valuable here.
Fantastic. I was curious, however, I mean, if you have a lot of people that come here, is there a large amount of traffic, or is it just the every so now someone pops in?
Generally, devils of lesser import do not come to the Wandering Emporium. They have no real business here. Occasionally, some of the more influential devils will come here to meet with people. This is a neutral location. We do not take sides. Demons in general are not people that are not entities that will come and look to trade or big deals. Even the higher up demons that are more sentient will typically not be interested in treating with people. So we don't get. It's a very rare occasion when we get a demon here, but if that ever is the case, any devils that are here at the time are here with the understanding that there is to be no combat or conflict here.
Does that mean that your only main entrance, besides, I guess, teleportation, would be like the kind of Avernus plane entrance?
That's correct. And he points back towards the opening that you drove through. He said, there is actually an invisible shield that protects against any of those who I would prefer not enter.
Oh, good thing we made it in then.
Well, yes, I had. We had actually seen you quite a ways off. You pose no potential threat here. You all seem like people that would be interested in interacting with and trading with.
Yeah, that's actually what I was. We came specifically here to trade for a very specific task, I believe, from you for a hag that wants some kind of bath. She said you provide some kind of spa service.
Yes, absolutely. That would be one of our local businesses here that we set up. Um, that's actually the one that I run directly.
Yeah, no, she said that the last time she was here, she said a few hundred years ago. Is that, sorry for prying, are you like a multi-planar being who lives hundreds of years, or would this be her first visit for you?
No, who is this that you're referring to?
I forgot her name. I was too busy
Mad
singing.
Maggie, right?
No.
Nope, that's the
Oh
one
no.
at Fort Knucklebone. You guys are thinking
Um,
of Red Ruth.
Red Ruth, yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruth has been here a few times. She does come every few centuries to freshen up.
You don't look a few centuries of age. Maybe you just age differently than a rabbit.
Well, looks are not always what they seem, but I'll keep the details of my origins to myself if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries. I was just curious if you've dealt with Red Ruth before. I didn't want you making any deals that you didn't weren't prepared for, perhaps.
Yes, I completely understand. Would you all like a tour of the Emporium?
Yes,
would be
please.
nice.
That'd be
Will,
awesome.
will that cost anything?
No, no. The tour. I'll just show you around since this is your first time here. Um, but
Okay.
as is standard, whenever you make an agreement in Avernus, and he kind of flicks his wrist, and there is a looks to be a contract, um, and he says these are very simple and basic contracts, and that in that agreement that you seem willing to make upon first getting here, that if you incur any debt while you're here, you will not leave until it is settled. And if you
Um,
breach this contract, then your soul is forfeit to the Emporium until
Yeah.
the point at which you have worked off any of your debts.
How would you work off for a debt or?
Well, you can work for one of the shops here in the Emporium and travel with us. And he looks over to you and says, "You in particular would be very useful in cleaning up and setting up things when we move."
I actually had an idea for possibly something I could barter here. Um, let me sign this first. I sign his thing.
Yeah,
I don't
and
even.
you guys are well versed at this point after your interaction with the imp.
Yeah,
And this
I
this is
didn't
a
even
very
check.
very simple contract. It has like two sentences, and it says exactly what it's meant to say.
Okay. Incur debt equal pay debt off before leave.
Yes.
Forfeit your soul.
Oh, so does that mean I can actually leave? My soul is forfeit permanently after that, or?
Yes, soul forfeitures are a bit complicated. I would not recommend it. But as with
No.
anything, the choice of how you live your life and deal with your own soul is up to you.
Now that only takes place like after I die, right? Just curious, not trying to break any recently signed contracts or anything. But does a soul forfeiture immediately kill somebody, or?
It depends on the contract itself. In this case, no, it would mean that when you passed, your soul would be given to the owner of the Emporium.
Rather than going into that river thing?
Well, that would be the route it would come through. Yes,
Oh,
all souls that are forfeited to Avernus come through the River Styx.
So do you have to like stop by the river Styx every now and then to pick up some souls, or?
Hmm.
Can devils just rob souls then?
some souls end up lost in the river Styx. If it's a soul that's not of particular value or interest, sometimes those that have um, signed the contract and um, essentially made a deal to bring a soul here to Avernus um, don't feel it's worth it to attempt to retrieve it. But those souls will end up wandering the river Styx until someone decides to scoop them up and try to utilize them.
I think we met a double like that.
Yeah, and you guys would actually remember you had an interaction. Um, you had an interaction at the Stygian docks with somebody that had that divining bell that would go down and suck up souls from the river Styx, and the ones on the very bottom appeared to be the more ancient and valuable souls.
I will say, can those souls be turned back into people?
No, death is difficult to reverse. There are magics that can do it, certainly, but typically, if a soul's business is resolved here on Avernus, they move on to whatever afterlife they were destined to. Avernus is more of an offshoot. It's a bit of a diversion from what other divine retribution or achievement they would receive.
Well, back to that possible bartering. You see, we're kind of, or at least I am, a little bit of a musician, a performer, dancer, singer. I was wondering if you would be willing to barter even at least a little bit for maybe part-time performance here.
So you're looking to provide service, entertaining the guests of the Wandering Emporium.
The guests, the shopkeepers, yourself even. We could do a variety of types of music too. Maybe something calm and serene for the spa. Maybe something more upbeat for the for I don't know, any eateries you have.
Maybe a welcoming song.
Yeah, maybe even a welcoming song just for the entryway. I could do it all.
I'll tell you what. I will offer a bounty of 50 gold a day that you perform here. And we'll see how it goes. If you do well, I may increase that bounty. If you don't do so well, I may decrease it.
Okay. I mean that sounds fantastic. Just curious how long I would be performing for the day.
I would say a day's performance is probably 8 hours during the course of a day, traveling through the town and offering your services as a bit of a traveling bard. I'll have you go between the different businesses and set up, and probably spend some time in each one, and then just occasionally out amongst the general area.
Okay, I mean, do you want me to like audition, or are we just gonna take my word that I can perform?
Well, I'm assuming that if you're offering that, you must have some repute. And like I said, we'll start at 50 gold a day, and we'll either go up or down based on your performance.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Thank you. Guys, would you guys mind maybe if while you went back to Red Ruth, if I stayed here to Bard and maybe waited for you to come back?
Bartering is important.
Well, we'll need you, I think, when we get
Yo.
back there.
Yeah, so we get attacked. I think we'll probably need our whole group.
I mean, you're gonna be in the middle of a cluttered bramble and most of my attacks would probably hurt you guys through the bramblage without me noticing. The best I could do is Eldritch Blast repeatedly, and I mean, those were some narrow hallways.
Well, first let's figure out. So how much does the bath cost?
Well, 1 day's worth of treatments at the at my lovely spa, the Inferno Rapture, would be equal to 1 soul coin or 500 gold.
Deal.
And this is
So-
this is the price for Red Ruth as a returning, as I understand you all are bartering on her behalf. But if any of you decide that you'd like to stay here for 1 day and have the same cleaning treatment as well as dining services, you can have 24 hours to use the spa and the dining services for 1 soul coin or 500 gold. And the first of your group that decide to take this. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Take this deal upon yourselves. I will give you 1 free hero's feast that you can use whenever you
Ooh.
like.
What's a hero's feast?
Oh. Do it.
Probably a
Sir,
feast fit for a hero.
Sir, you may be aware that Red Ruth is a tremendously stanky individual, and I just would like you to know that we are attempting. This is to defunkify her, and so this may be you may be eligible for a tax rebate or something, since you'll be performing a public service by selling us this. Literally, the 9 Hells will be more pleasant to smell. So is there any chance you'd be willing to negotiate that that price a little bit? Again, I think you should be.
Wow.
May I make a persuasion check?
Yes.
Okay.
Wisdom
Holy
saving
shit.
throws gain advantage.
Yeah, hero's
This
feast is
awesome.
pretty good.
Guys, I rolled a nat 20 on my persuasion.
And what were you
And a crit
persuading?
fail.
Trying to get a trying to get a cheaper price for this.
Oh,
Paying for the
Yeah, a
since he's
cheaper price
performing
like
a public
me,
service.
A cheaper price like me performing.
I'll accept a soul coin that has at least 2 charges or 300 gold.
I'll pay the 300 gold.
300 gold
Yeah.
sounds great.
I'll pay it.
Got us a deal, guys.
Nice job. And that hero's feast is awesome.
Yes, normally it is a spell that can be cast by those of the more clerical persuasion, but we've managed to create a essentially a basket that you can carry. That once it's opened, the spell is stored within and then immediately cast by whoever opens it.
A spell of storing. Or a store spelling basket. Sheesh.
So the food won't rot. Well,
Well, the food
it's in store.
The food isn't created until the spell is cast.
Oh, okay.
And it lasts for 1 hour, and you do have to take an hour to consume it to gain the benefits of it. So you want to be careful about when you decide to attempt to take the hero's feast.
Well, talking about feast and food, I think we should also buy food here, guys.
Look, yeah, I don't have any money, but I did buy the last, I don't know, like month's worth of food, so
Sure. And I'd
All
like
right.
to see what they have for sale in terms of just, magic
Well,
items or.
yeah. Well, let's first. He said he's gonna. How do you call it? Take us
Give you the
around, right?
tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it. Let's get the tour and then we'll
Yeah.
go our ways and check what we need.
I don't
Sounds
know,
good.
Jar. I kind of want to sit here and perform by the door.
All right then. You can sit here and perform by the door. You can start your work. How about that?
Hey, he said I could start working. You guys heard him.
Make sure to meet back here like in 8 hours or so.
You're
Or
gonna
9.
be here for 8 hours.
I mean, it's a shopping episode, right?
So yes, he gives you a tour around the Emporium. The first you come up to is a rather large and ornate tent, which he tells you is the home of the Infernal Rapture, and he says, "I know it doesn't look like much from the outside these tents, but when you walk in, you'll see that you're actually entered into a demiplane that." And each one has a different plane that it's on, so it's very difficult to actually teleport directly into any of these locations without having been there and being familiar with it first, which is nice for us because it makes it rather secure. But in the Infernal Rapture, you'll find a very comfortable inn that has full dining services, and also spa services. And it's a great place to stay. And as I said, we charge 1 gold for admittance for a 24-hour period. Or sorry, 1 gold, 1 soul coin, or 500 gold. But it is well worth it, especially here in the difficult terrain of Avernus, to find such a comfortable respite is worth every penny, worth every copper, as it were. And he goes to the next tent. He says, "This is the Fire Snake Forge. It is run by 3 salamanders by the name of Rosh, Skids, and Slag. They deal in weapons and armor, and they're also very well versed in infernal war machine repair." He goes to the next one. He says, "This is Bernie's Barbers. Bernie runs this fairly nice barber shop that caters to those who are interested in anything from beauty to healing purposes. And Bernie's also got some of the best stories in town." He goes to the next tent. He says, "This one is called From Here to Avernus. Fatala runs this business, which is essentially a courier service. They can attempt to deliver things wherever you may be attempting to send them. It can be fairly easy to send things across Avernus. And I believe she may have ways to send things across planes, but I believe those are more expensive, but I'll let her give you those details." The 5th tent says, "This one is Icar's Away. It's run by Eliash, a human mage, and he, in particular, likes to collect and sell flasks of demon ichor. He's quite a collector and expert in the different kinds of ichor and what they can occasionally provide.
Would he be open to buying flasks of demon ichor?
Yes, he buys and sells them.
Okay. Guys, I think we should sell that stuff just because we can't really afford to have our engines explode.
Well, he may actually be able to help you with that. There are certain ichors that are more volatile and less volatile than others. There are certain ichors that may be less powerful, but may not create as much havoc to your engine, or potential havoc, as it were. But again, he's the expert, Eliach. I should be giving you guys these names as we go.
I performed so well, I'm gonna have to write some lines down.
There's a way.
I'll actually do that in just a second. But the last one is Zeneth Larva Farm. This is run by Zeneth, who is an old hobgoblin warlord who buys and sells larvae.
What type of larva?
Ooh. Ugh.
Like just any type?
Typically, he procures larvae from Yugoloths.
Because I mean, if he buys hell wasp larva, we killed a couple. We could he can maybe catch some other ones.
Well, yeah, that would be something that maybe you want to ask him about. I can't say that I'm, again, an expert, but he runs a very fair and strong business here. And he's got a bit of a fascinating bit of interests. Everybody that I've allowed to come in and set up shop here has an interesting background and has agreed to remain neutral and trade in peace and fairness with each person that comes in and not cause trouble. And they've all been very good about that. I've had this crew here for quite a long time, and they all seem to be quite happy with the arrangement.
Thank you for the tour. If we need to, well, we need more information. I guess we'll come to you first.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and return to the Infernal Rapture and make sure everything's going well over there. But yes, if you have any further questions, feel free to seek me out there. You are welcome to stay within the Emporium if you would like. It should be fairly safe, even if you decide you just wish to stay within your war machine. But you can feel free to enter any of the establishments that you'd like and attempt to trade or obtain whatever services you'd like as well.
Thank you. All right, guys. I kind of want to sell some of the stuff and then buy some food, some rations, and then from there, probably go check out the storyteller, the barber. Maybe he has some stories or information about the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we need more soul coins, we have 4 demon ichors. I would suggest that perhaps we sell 2 of them to the broker, see if we can get anything. Obviously, gold works here, but some.
Yeah, we need
for
soul
some-
coins more than soul. And yeah.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's a good plan, Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
What You have anything in mind?
I mean, just discussing with him to see if there's magic items to buy or
Okay.
trade or that sort
Okay.
of thing.
All right then. I guess we'll split up then.
Okay.
Try and not get in trouble. Don't buy more than you can. How do you call it? Don't get in debt, basically.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay then. Well then, I'll see you guys here like in a couple hours, or we'll meet up by the where I told Harry to meet up in front of the inside the Emporium, but like in the front.
Okay.
All right then.
Okay.
I'll let you go first, Jar.
All right. So I kind of want to sell that's it, the magic item, the this is it, the helm of I forgot his name.
Horn?
More
The
Horn?
Helm of Torm.
or Torum. Thank
Okay,
you.
so what I will
Oh, so
say,
that
is that you do remember that you got that from Elturel. That was given to you as a gift that they did expect to receive back at some point.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Because that is
Oh,
something
wait.
that's something that's sacred to Elf. And you would know that. So like I'm
Okay,
willing.
okay.
I'm not like saying that you're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that in
yeah.
spite of it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that you thought that it might have something to do with memories of Lulu or the location of Zerial's sword. So they lent
Okay.
that to you in hopes that you would return it with an answer to how to get Elturel back.
Okay,
You guys did have something that you were interested in selling though, which I believe was the the spurs, the infernal tack.
Tack. Maybe that Grimoire too, but yeah, we would definitely want to sell that.
Yeah.
That'd be evil to use it.
Oh, also I was gonna sell the vial poison. I don't need it.
Okay.
The green dragon poison.
Okay, so where would you like to go?
Whoa.
Oh, here, let me finish giving you the names of this actually. Let's see. So Icar's away with Elioth.
Icar's away.
So from here to Avernus was the couriering service. There's the barber. The forge. And then the Infernal Raptors.
I guess we'll go to the place where I guess they buy and sell like just magic items. Would that be the armor, or would that be like a magic shop that they?
Well, you don't know. There isn't specifically a place that's a magic shop necessarily.
Yeah.
But you could certainly try to go into one and see if one of them would buy what you're looking for.
Okay. Uh. I guess we'll go to the weapons and armor. Ezra, what do you think? We want to sell some
I want to
magic
see,
weapons.
depending on what they have. Yeah, I want to see what they have.
All right, let's go there first.
Okay, so as you walk into the Fire Snake Forge, you can see that the tent is open. And as you step in, immediately you feel this wave of heat. And it's not uncomfortable heat like what you feel in Avernus. It's the kind of heat that you would expect when you walk into a forge. And you can see there are 3 different salamanders that you see in here, which is an interesting creature that you guys have probably not really gotten much of an opportunity to see before.
Wow.
That's super cool.
And this is a forge where we would buy magic weapons.
Well,
armor?
as you enter, you see the front of the forge appears to be more suited like a shop. You can see there is a forge in the back. There is no. This kind of looks like one large space. There are certain dividers, and in the there is a large countertop slash desk table sitting up in the about halfway through the room that kind of splits up this location into 2 with curtains that drape behind it. But you can see through the curtains to the forge in the back, and you see one of the 3 salamanders that you had seen before appears to be stationed at this table. He's sitting there reviewing what looks like a book as he kind of thumbs through this rather large tome. But he looks up and he says, "Ah, hello." And as he speaks, you see his serpentine-like tongue kind of splays out at the end of everything he says with a little bit of a hiss. Welcome to the Fire Snake Forge.
Thank you. What kind of wares do you offer here?
Well, we primarily trade in armor and weaponry, but typically we can trade in exchange for anything of that's made of metal. What are you looking for?
Well, I am curious about what kind of swords you have, and I guess armor of of the sort of medium variety. I don't want anything too heavy, but I'm just looking to see if there's something I might want to upgrade or change or trade in. So yeah, I'm
Okay, so
curious what you
basically what he offers you is pretty much anything that you can find out of the basic armorer's handbook. He's got any type of metal, so any type of medium or heavy armor, and as he kind of shows these off to you and starts to discuss price, you realize there's probably about a 50% markup of the costs that you're used to paying. But he also says that there's an additional enchantment on these on this armor, which is that all of it is fire resistant.
That's interesting. All right.
Yeah, so we've been able to view a little bit of our personal essence into all of these pieces of armor.
Yeah, what a great idea. Like an added value that you've included on these items. Yeah. Yeah, by chance, an item I've been interested in for a while is a sunblade. You guys carry a sunblade?
Very interesting and specific request. Let's see. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Those are awesome.
Requires attunement. It's a little bit of a drawback. But...
They do, in fact, have a sunblade. Very much in their wheelhouse to create.
What kind of cost might they charge?
Very good question. Let me take a look here.
All right, I abridged the entirety of Bring Me to Life. It's called Bring Me to Shop. Y'all just let me know.
Does it bring me to life or bring me back to life?
The song is called Bring Me to Life.
Right,
Okay.
Evanescence?
Yeah. That one?
Yeah.
Oh.
They would be willing to sell it to
Nice.
you for 4,500 gold.
4,500.
Sunblade? Oh, wow.
That is really cool, but out of my price range at the moment.
Also, aren't like all devils like immune to like fire magic down here?
Oh, it's
Well,
not fire
those
magic.
deal radiant.
Oh, radiant. Ah.
Which
That's
one?
little-
Radiant damage is probably the most useful damage.
Radiant
How
or
much-
fire?
How much money do you
Radiant
need?
damage is the most useful.
It's a lot. It's 4,500.
I've got 4K. I mean, if I can spot you a 500 or 1,000.
Yeah, 4K?
Yeah.
I think from all the spotting me he's done, he probably needs more than that.
Well, and they would also tell you that they do also trade. They would also be willing to trade in magic items, or the general going rate for a soul coin down here is 500 gold. So it would be 4,500 in combination of gold, soul coins, or trade.
Yeah,
in value.
dude, get it. Well, how much you need? Just how much like do you have yourself? Because I can.
Well, I can. Yeah, I could try selling a few things. Plus, I'm gonna have to take off one of my.
Goodmans.
Your attunements.
My what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Attunements?
attunements,
Do you
exactly.
have to attune
Exactly.
to that weapon?
Yeah.
I'm tuning out. I'm all tuned out. Sorry, I'm really sleepy because yeah. So
Tell you
my
what.
jokes
Why
are
don't,
bad. Normally, they're just gonna get worse. I'm sorry.
How about? Because I don't want to hold everybody else up while I kind of look at what I got. Let me look at what I got. You guys can move on to whatever you guys want to look at, and I'll just put a couple things in the chat, and you
Sure.
can just chat me back.
You want to sell the how do you call it, the liquid stuff first, Tim?
Oh yeah, the Ecor. So we've
Yeah,
got.
it's better. Yeah.
I think we should save at least one, in case we need a quick escape. Maybe two, but we've got four. So I think we sold two of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully try to get maybe a 1-for-1 for soul coins or otherwise some other kind of trade.
That's
Um,
that's that's a good idea.
I just think we should. I mean, it's basically NOS, and we don't really.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
idea.
that's fine for street racing. Something about family, but really
Where's
we just need a
Lulu?
reliable. We need our war machine to be a reliable.
Machine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are you guys doing next?
We're gonna sell two Ecor
Okay, so
at
you're
the
gonna go into Icar's away.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so as you enter, um, first you again feel that same kind of shift as you step in to the tent, and you see a much smaller room than it's a much smaller workspace than you saw with the forge. And you immediately hear the sound of bubbling and boiling as there are different potions and things that are brewing. This appears to be more of a scientific um, experimentation chamber. And you see first you see the silhouette of a human as you kind of look over, but then you notice there's some very odd things about it. First of all, as this entity turns towards you, instead of seeing arms on this creature, you instead see a set of two tentacles that appear to come out from it where its shoulders would be, with then tentacly fingers at the end. Um, and then you don't see any ears on this human, but otherwise you see looks to be mostly human. Um, and you see that he appears to be wearing a helmet.
We're
And
looking
I'll
human.
like,
I
hello, sir. I understand that you are the person to talk to about all kinds of high-powered demon fuel.
You don't. He doesn't reply to you verbally, but you hear in your head. He says, "Yes, people often will bring demon ichor to trade or to look to purchase from me."
We're all right, buddy. I've got your next supply for a couple months all set up right here. I've got two of these here. I'm looking to move, and hoping to exchange those for soul coins.
All right. So as you hand him two of the flasks, he takes it up and brings it close and closely inspects it, and you hear in your head, "Ah, yes, Bulgara ichor. That's some of the more volatile kind. I'd be willing to purchase each of these for 25 gold pieces."
What now? Well, sir, I mean, I know what we've got here. I mean, that was a mighty tough demon, the kind of thing that you're gonna get some real kick out of this thing, and we know because he kicked our ass. So when
well,
I tried to do a
whoa,
contested,
he kicked your guys' ass. I handled to get that.
Yeah, I actually just completely trapped it in a
Wait,
wall
you're
while
with
you
us?
guys got your
hey
ass kicked.
guys, I'm negotiating here.
Go ahead and
No,
make.
I'm not there. I was just reminding you above table that I almost 1v1'd that thing and almost
Yes,
decided to
obviously I
not fight
know.
it in the
Like,
first place.
Go ahead and make a persuasion
oh
check.
my fucking, yeah, we're never. I'm really glad that America doesn't do barter because like I never want to be trying to imagine negotiating with you guys. Oh, fuck me.
15's pretty good. He says, I suppose I could offer you 40 gold per flask, but that's the very limits of what it would be worth to me.
Well, I appreciate that, and we'll go ahead and do I get the sense that I'm getting scammed? Like, I mean, that's you know how it is, right? Like, you're talking to somebody and you're like, they're about to foist a crappy vehicle onto you or something.
Sure.
You're like, do I get any sense of that? Obviously, he's like he's projecting into my mind, so it's a little bit.
Yeah. So
disconcerting.
I'll have you make an insight check at disadvantage, because you're not reading from the normal verbal cues. But
yeah, and also, I mean, this is weird to me, but I guess
20 is
maybe
pretty
not.
good. So I'll say what you get with a 20 is that 25 gold does appear to be the target price of what he was looking to, what he normally would look to buy a flask of this for, and 40. He seems to be giving you 40 gold instead, because you had specifically slain it yourself rather than bringing it of something that you trade. It seemed like he was impressed by that. But then you also notice that it does appear as though he sells, when he does sell them, he probably sells them for quite a bit more. But you would imagine that being a man of science, that's just what he feels like is the natural markup for how much he works on this stuff.
Arbitrage, buddy. That is a long word, and it's one of the longest words that I know, but I do know that one. And so I'm gonna go ahead and sell. Actually, sell him 3. We're gonna hold one back, but we'll sell him. It's like, you know what, buddy? We'll sell you 3, for 40.
So 120 gold. Yep, absolutely.
Sweet. And can that do you guys want to just put that in the party loot?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so 120 goes on the.
I guess and I hear you also fix up some how do you call it, war machines, or
So yeah, this is back over at the forge, I assume, with the.
Yeah, I'm adding in the money. So 120 gold.
Yeah. So yeah, you're talking to Slag, who's the person who's working the counter over at the Fire Snake Forge. He says, "Yes, we are. We cannot build them, but we are quite adept at repairing war machines that are still functional. Typically, we charge 50 gold per bit of damage that needs to be restored. So essentially, it's 50 gold per hit point."
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah, and they also said we do have some war machines for sale as well. We have some that we own but do not typically use. But if you were ever interested in obtaining more war machines, we do sell some of the ones that we have. The ones that come in that are too damaged, we can scrap and occasionally repurpose into other metal objects or war machine parts. But currently, we have 4 that are.
Well, right now we're not
functional.
looking to get a new war machine, but
Okay.
I just wanted to know, like, if you guys fixed them up here and the price, and I will say, who would buy magical, or like, let's say, like a staff or something? Will you guys also take care of that here, or is it like more specific tailored towards someone else in the Emporium?
No, typically we only trade and items that we're able to either improve or work upon, which are items particularly made of metal that are
Okay.
armor or weapons. But I would say over at the Wandering Emporium, there are occasionally those that will travel through that might be interested in purchasing or trading magic items.
And who would those be?
Oh, those would just
Well,
be the a possibility of meeting one of the patrons at the Infernal Rapture that might that might be interested in trade. People that are
Okay.
people from all over the world stay there, so occasionally you may find a trader there.
Okay. Well, thank you for informing me.
All right.
And Ezra, if you wanna.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just put a few things in the chat there just to see how much I would be able
Longsword
to
plus
spend.
1. They would probably be willing to count that for 200 gold. The Gauntlets of Ogre Power are interesting.
Is that the 19? Oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
one's got 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Or if somebody else from the party would like to have them. They're nice to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, they specifically are very interested in that item. So they would be willing to do that one for 1,200.
Ooh.
Which you know is probably more than it's worth, but they're very interested in getting it. You imagine it would be useful to them. You don't think any of these creatures have that kind of strength, but having that kind of strength would probably be useful in their trade.
True.
Okay. Also, just from a party standpoint, we have that arcane grimoire.
They don't
I
buy it
think
there though.
They wouldn't buy it here.
They wouldn't buy it here.
They don't really deal with with
Right.
arcane stuff.
I got you.
We gotta talk to like a trader at the Inferno.
I got you. Okay, so I've got 1,400. So,
How much you need? I've got like way more money than I know what to do with. I don't have any items I need, so seriously.
So I'll ask our friend here. I've got 2,800 in gold. Would you be willing to take the 2,800 in gold, the longsword plus 1, and the gauntlets of ogre power in exchange for the sunblade? It's a little less.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Because again, they really want those gauntlets. So they want to say yes. Yeah. Yeah, they would do that deal.
Deal.
Okay. You may add the
Nice.
sunblade to your inventory.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim.
Dick.
And
Thought I'd
Yeah.
try to work it out.
Yeah, now the sunblade is a longsword. And if you just drag sunblade over from the compendium, that should put it accurately in there for attacks and everything. And the radiant damage is only when you hit an undead with it, though. That's
Yes.
important to note.
Well, no, I think it's radiant damage in general, isn't it?
Let's see.
You get extra damage. Let's see. Yeah, it's radiant damage, but you get an extra 1d8 when you hit an undead.
So yeah, it's just a hilt. The item, until activated, it's just a longsword hilt. While grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to cause the blade of pure radiance to spring into existence. While the blade exists, it's a magical longsword with the finesse property. You gain a +2 attack to attack and damage rolls. which
Nice.
deal radiant damage instead of slashing. So yes, and then you get an extra D8 on top of that when you hit an undead with it, or a
Great.
D10 if you're wielding it two-handed. It's the same as the attack, the damage die.
Great.
And then the sword
Actually-
also illuminates light, bright light in a 15-foot radius, and dim light for another 15. And the light does count as sunlight. And you can actually use an action to expand the radius by 5 feet.
Bye,
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah. So you all have a great week. Sorry.
All right, man. That's all right.
Understandable.
All right, Harry, go ahead and make a performance check.
I actually did right when he said that I could perform. I blessed
the
myself
19.
with Seni, and then performed my little rabbit heart out. That's actually why I decided to go actually get lyrics. I was like, damn, 21? That means it has to be good. I just posted the lyrics in the Discord channel. Just, if you need to, play Evanescence in the background, read those lyrics, and you'll get the gist of it.
So basically, you do earn the 50 gold
Wow.
for the first full day of performance, and the Emporium denizens are very impressed, and you actually earn 50 gold worth of tips just from the patrons as you kind of street performer your way through. So you can add 100 gold, and they offer you that the next time you come back for the next full day that you do, it would be 75 gold.
Aljar, man, you gotta let me stay here for a couple days, bro. I don't have any money.
That's not to say that you have to do it tomorrow. It's just that's where it's at right now. 75 gold is the bar. So the next time you're here, for the next full day that you're here and do this, then they'll pay you that much, which might go up or down based on how you do.
I mean, you guys look like you could really use some rest. How about we stay the night? I'll perform tomorrow, and then we can leave at the end of that. Maybe y'all want a spa day or something tomorrow, so we could all rejuvenate, and then we could leave after we have that grand feast or whatever.
I mean, do they have a place we can stay?
Yeah, there's a spa place.
I mean,
it's 500 gold or 1 soul coin for you per person for you to go into the inn/spa area, the Infernal Rapture. So that gets you 24 hours admittance there, which if you were to approach the Infernal Rapture, you would see there's actually somebody outside that barters and collects the price from people, and they would say that you are provided with a room and then full access to the dining services and the spa services for 24 hours.
I think it's too expensive.
Yeah, that's a lot. 500.
But we get that feast that gives everyone a fat buff if just one person does it.
Yeah, and that's a one-time deal for your entire group. But yes,
We'll see. We still have to finish buying the other stuff, and I still need to go talk to the barber. But before that, actually, I was gonna sell 4 javelins and Hugh, the battle axe.
We should also sell. I think Ezra wants to sell the Grimroar, and I want to
Yeah,
sell
the things we
the.
can't sell it at. We can't sell it at the armor.
Yeah,
They
I want
only
to
accept metal
sell.
stuff.
I want to sell the Staff of Swarm as well.
Yeah, so none of those things are things that they would purchase there, but they would refer you again to the Infernal Rapture, where there might be people that would buy that.
Well, I imagine I have to keep performing, so if one of you guys would go sell that for me, that'd be great.
Well, first I gotta. Okay, how much is for the hue, the battle axe?
300 gold is what they would offer you for that.
300. That's fine.
Okay.
300 gold. And then for javelins, I have a couple of them. I never use them, so it's regular javelins.
They would offer you like 5 silver for the
So,
javelins.
okay, that's fine.
Might as well just keep those. What if we need to jam a door?
Have lightning
fuck it.
javelins, and I never really use them, so might as well. 5 silver. So it's about 20. And then where could we go buy rations? Basically food.
Yeah, the only food, I mean, like, you would imagine that each place has, food for themselves, or they're supplied somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only place that sells food is the Infernal Rapture.
Oh, okay. Wow. So everything leads back to the Infernal Rapture. Okay, then. Well, I think we really need to. I guess we'll go to the. Do we have enough for the Infernal Rapture if we gather everything
I
up?
paid for it. I paid for it already.
Oh, you paid for it? No, you paid. Oh, but you paid for the lady,
No,
right?
yeah, you
For the
paid.
hag.
Yeah, you paid for the
300.
hags. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
hags,
The
yeah.
hags. Yeah.
We have any? Because I only have 300, and that's 500,
We're
right?
trying to sell like 3 magic items at the Infernal Rapture, and one of
Yeah.
them's like rare or higher. I'm pretty sure that's worth at least 300 gold. Probably more like 1,000 gold.
And just for the record, you guys have spent weeks now, maybe even months, no, not months, but weeks at least, traveling around the Avernus, hellish landscape. You start to think of fine dining food, a nice comfortable bed, spa services.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, if my one staff sells for 500, you're not getting me out of here before I have the spa service.
like you start to think that does seem to you to be worth that, a soul coin or 500 gold. You would also know from your experience, in your initial experience with Mahadi, that you probably can barter. Like, there is bartering here. You bartered for Red Ruth's entrance for the day. You might be able to barter yourselves as well.
Shit, I bartered to work here.
Just to be clear, is it 500 per person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Zoinks.
And not all of you have to. If any of you want to, you can just go camp in your war machine.
Yeah, if you're a disgusting scaly creature, you might as well not get a bath, I guess.
Hey.
Well, I literally spent.
I take sand baths, okay?
Yeah, well, there's I'm pretty sure plenty of fucking sand on the ground out here. I don't know.
So I'm nice and clean.
Clean, air quotes.
Should we try to sell what we can sell, and then
Yeah, if you could try and sell my staff, that would be fantastic.
Well, Mateo does
And the-
have one soul coin on him still. He would say that he could use that to gain entrance and spend 24 hours trying to sell everything if nobody else wants to go in.
I mean, yeah, Mateo is pretty much really good. I trust Mateo.
Yeah, Mateo could probably get a good price for my shit. I kind of want to go in, but I also can't go in without my staff having been sold. I don't have enough money.
Well, and you also are reminded of the concept of a tab being opened.
True. I go in as soon as I'm done. As soon as I'm done with my 8 hours of performance, if these guys haven't told me to leave by then, which then I would just argue with them, then I'm just gonna go straight in there and be like, "Can I open a tab to come in here? I got stuff to sell anyways."
Yes, well, the price of admittance is 1 soul coin or 500 gold. So
Well,
as long as you pay the tab before you leave, that would be what you would owe.
I go grab. Where's Lulu been this whole time?
She's just kind of traveling around with you guys.
Sorry, Lulu.
I mean,
You
either
really-
that or she could have just stayed in the war machine. Where did you guys want Lulu to be?
I want Lulu right next to me at this
Okay,
exact moment,
sure.
but
So you go and you retrieve Lulu from the war machine where she's been kind of just
Lulu.
sitting lonely the whole time, you know.
No, Mar would have been there with her.
That's
Also,
true. She's having a rousing conversation with your pet.
Also,
imp.
I was performing mostly by the front entrance, so I imagine if she wanted, she could have been listening to me at any time.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Lulu. I know I gave it to you to kind of like defend yourself, but you haven't really been using it. Would you mind if I took the Staff of Swarm to sell here?
Sure, that would be fine. I think you give her the staff. Let's see. I thought you gave her the staff.
I
of
gave
defense.
I gave her glass staff of defense, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she using that one?
I mean, she has been. That raises her AC and gives her the opportunity to cast shield. She hasn't really been targeted that much, but you guys also haven't
Casted,
battled a whole lot.
Has she casted shield before?
Let's see.
Sorry, Lulu. Do you mind if
that
I
seems
take
so
that?
handy. I mean, that is so handy to have. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she had the Staff of Swarm. Never mind. I guess I have the Staff of Swarm.
Yeah.
She can keep that for
But
now.
she would give it back to you if you wanted. Like,
No, I planned on selling that in my hometown anyways, where I know I can get a special deal for special items. So she can definitely keep that.
okay.
I will sell the Staff of Swarm in here. But first, before I enter and put the 500 on the tab, I'd like to do a little bit of bartering, of course.
Okay. Now, are you still taking Lulu with you to the?
If
To the
she wants
Emporium?
to come in, sure, I don't care. If she wants to come over here,
Okay.
it's up to her. I'll tell her I'm going to the Emporium after a hard day's work. I'm gonna try and sell some stuff and possibly earn a bath. As I go up to the front door, I talk to the guy about possibly starting a tab, and he says 500 gold or a soul coin. I definitely don't have a fucking soul coin. Well, I look at him, I hold my necklace, I say, Senny, please help me with this deal. And I look back at him and I say, by any chance, could I perform for possibly 2 to 3 hours in your Emporium to lower the cost?
Right. You're the bard that's been going around town.
Yeah. Maybe get a discount to bard here. I could even customize a song for this location specifically.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Jeez, I get advantage too. Let me roll my guidance.
1.
I mean,
Just
guidance.
don't roll. Yeah, just don't do another ones.
Guidance is guidance, bro. I would have to roll 2 ones.
That's what I'm saying. Just don't do that. You
Yeah.
got
Oh
25.
yeah. I'm so good. I'm bussing.
I suppose we can call it 200 gold.
Okay. And do you want maybe my own custom lineup, or would you like me to spend like 20, 30 minutes create a song for the location?
Surprise
or-
us.
Okay, I sing them the song of Elturel first.
Okay.
Then I sing the custom welcome, or then come in and shop is next on the playlist, and then I sing the playlist of our party. I've got like 6 or 7 custom songs at this point that no other bard should be running around with.
Yeah, and so as you're bartering, you also Lulu floats up to you and says, "Yes, I must admit, a full day in this place sounds wonderful." And she turns her trunk around behind her to where you can't see it, and pulls out a large sack and puts down on the table, and it clinks. And she says, "It was 500 gold, right?"
It was 500 gold or a soul coin, Lulu. Yeah, that sounds right.
Well, I don't have any soul coins. I don't feel comfortable trading in those, but
That's fair.
and
All right,
she,
well,
she floats in.
I give him 100 gold of the 200, and I say, I have some more stuff to sell in here, magic item wise, and I will come back after I'm done performing, and try and sell that stuff, and I'll come back with that other 100 gold. Right before
what do you have to barter?
Oh,
The Emporium might actually be willing to trade in magic items rather than the gold to enter.
Let's see. What do I have? I've got Dust of Disappearance. I've got a Staff of Swarm.
Yes, and in lieu of the 200, I'd be willing to trade you for the Dust of Disappearance.
All right, I have 2 of those, and I will just assume that he meant
Just
both
only
of them.
one, yeah.
Oh man, really?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how expensive those were.
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I give him one of the bags of Dust of Disappearance, and I said, "Are you sure that'll cover the whole
That'll cover all
200?
of it.
Okay, well, tell you what, before I hit the spa service or anything, I already performed all day. Might as well keep rolling, and I'll hit my performances before the spa.
Okay.
And I believe we were offered a Feast of Heroes 1 for our whole party if someone arrived and paid for this. Is that deal still ongoing, or?
Well, that's something you'd probably want to see the proprietor for.
Yes.
I would go see Mahadi.
Of course. I'll do that after I've paid off the services I owe you. I go perform for 2-3 hours while you guys sell your stuff here and go around.
Mateo would also pay a soul coin. Well, you know what? Actually, let's see.
He probably has 500 gold too.
He does not.
Oh, he does.
Really?
I think he went hard on buying as much shit as he could before we came here.
Yeah.
He probably
Yeah, we
saw
haven't-
good old Harry prepping like that, and he was like, "Damn, maybe I should prep like that."
We haven't exactly found a lot of gold since we've been here.
No.
Yeah.
I've had 0 currency the entire time we've been in Avernus.
Who do we sell the grimoire to? Or who could we?
The same Emporium
trader.
guy that I just
Right,
sold
okay.
stuff to.
Okay.
Yeah, the
No,
Emporium
that's only
might.
to allow you in.
Yeah, the Emporium might buy it, or barter for it directly, through the through the gaining entrance. But yeah. Yeah, he would actually barter one of his greater healing potions and 200 gold. They would grant him. So he would actually save his soul coin. But yeah, Mateo gets in.
Wait, before he goes in, I'm gonna tell him try to sell this vial of green dragon poison.
All right, I can do that. I mean, are you sure you don't want to go in? Maybe they would trade that for entrance.
No, there's nothing else. Just here, take some silvers, buy a lot of rations, and that's the only reason
Okay, how much
I
silver do
wanted
you
to
give
go
him?
in. I'll give him 240.
240 silver. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
That's all on rations basically.
Yep. I'm like, get water, rations, put it in a bag. You know how it is.
We have water. We've probably gone through maybe like a barrel of our 2 barrels of water.
Sure, we've been traveling for a long time, and those waters goes by fast.
I can
I don't know.
create water if needed.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, but
also. I mean,
but we need you for cure wounds. Cure
no,
I know,
wounds.
not
on
while
our
he's here.
trips,
Not while he's here.
Hell, he's here. That's
We're about
true.
to take a rest, a 24-hour rest.
That's
We
true.
might as well have him spawn some water in real quick in the barrels.
Well, you say we need these for rations, okay? Buy as much as you can, put them in a bag, or you can use some of Harry's bag too.
up to 10 gallons.
Yeah, my bag's actually pretty much empty for rations.
Yeah.
We've
Okay.
used most of my nice rations, by the way. We have no more
Man,
cheese. We're
that's all.
almost out of fruit and vegetables. Barely any dried nuts.
All right, so right now it's Harry, Lulu, and Mateo that have gone in. So I'm assuming that that means that Oljar and Ezra, are you both staying out with Tim?
Yes.
Will they
Yeah,
take my staff of swarm for entrance for Ezra?
Oh, I bet if you sold your staff of swarm, it's going to be a lot more. I don't know. It sounds great, but
It's I'll actually be
500
honest with you,
gold.
bro. I'll be honest with you, dude. It's actually probably one of the worst staffs in the game.
well,
I'd be
staffs
willing
are
to.
worth
I'd
a
be
little bit,
willing
so.
to give it to them for. I mean,
Well,
that's all it does, though. It doesn't have +1s or anything.
Go ahead and sell it to them, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. How much will they take the staff of swarm for, Jay?
Good question. It's not on my list here for some reason. Let me check.
Staff of swarm.
Staff of swarming insects, I think, is what we
Yeah,
are actually looking at.
but mine's super specific.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a rare. It is a rare fucking. Well then, I thought it was uncommon.
Nope. So, so yeah, that would be a pretty decent item. They would say that would cover the cost of 6 days.
Whew.
So either 6 days for one person, or six people for 1 day. And they essentially, if you're not going to use it immediately, they could give you tokens of entrance that you could actually trade.
Wait,
Fantastic.
why don't you just trade it for soul coins?
That's true. Actually, they would. That's
Might
what
as
they would
well.
give you. They would give you a soul coin.
They would give me
One soul coin? I thought it was like 500.
Sorry, they would give you
Per goal.
6. Either they could give you 6 soul coins or entrance or whatever. But yes.
Jesus Christ.
That's
well,
a good deal.
I will pay I'll take 4 soul coins and Tim and Ezra's entry.
Okay, nobody's paying for Uljar. Good to know.
No, yeah.
Fuck
I'm like,
Uljar. Fuck Uljar. It's even in my
Uljar.
song, bro. Listen to
Wait.
my song.
No, wait. That's not fair. If we're all going in, we all have to go in.
no,
Listen
I don't
my
want to go
song,
in.
Bro. Listen
You
to my
don't want to
song.
go in, Uljar?
No,
I'm
I
gonna
think
go
it's a waste of money.
I'm gonna go listen to Fuck Uljar right now.
It's a waste of money that Harry
Oh.
does.
Oh, all right. I won't make you. We can work it out though if you want.
I mean, someone
We'll
needs to
figure
guard.
something out.
Someone needs to guard the vehicle, anyways. So
Oh,
I figured you were having your imp friend to do that.
That's what I figured too.
I mean, yeah, he can sit there and air quotes guard it.
Yeah,
if someone walks up to steal it, like, what's he gonna do?
This is probably the safest place in the world to park it, but sure.
Yeah.
Or safe place in Avernus, I should say.
I mean, there's also I do have bedrolls and stuff in there. It's not like
Sure,
it's
yeah. I mean, it's not a bad place to camp out. That's true.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
And
Like
it's-
I set out
especially here, it's safe
multiple
and comfortable.
bedrolls. Yeah.
You know what actual Ojar will do? He'll take the demon machine for a ride. You know what? He's kind of jealous that how they call it. Tim always drives it.
This
All
is
right.
my big chance to.
How many hours and where are you planning on going?
Yeah, don't drive too much. You're spending the soul coins that.
Well, how long are they gonna stay in the inn?
Well, they've
Uh,
purchased admittance for 24 hours. You don't have to use all of that 24 hours if you don't want to. But
yeah, I was
that's up to
planning
you
on
guys.
I was planning on taking a long rest here and getting the spa treatment, and
Yeah.
then while the 24 hours was still going, I was planning on working the rest of that next day. So
I'm pretty much like, I'm gonna ride it for like 16 hours and then just stop and like I'll try to learn how to operate it in the inside. Are we like inside the Emporium, right? The like you could say the parking lot.
Sure.
I'll basically that's my practicing. Just
he's
riding
just
along.
drifting in circles in the parking lot doing donuts.
All right.
We come out there, he's like parallel parking, like off of a drift. He's like, I'm way better at driving this shit than Tim.
I have no land. What's it called? Land machine or landcraft.
Sure. So we'll say
Proficiency.
you're beginning the process of trying to train yourself in land vehicles. Go ahead and make
Yes.
a dexterity check.
It's like a
Sorry.
permit.
Don't crit fail. Don't crit fail. Don't
You know
crit
what?
fail.
I'm gonna bolster myself with magic just in case, because I'm very excited. I'm
Crit
like,
fail. Crit fail.
all right, dexterity save. Roll
Ooh.
20. Oh.
Okay.
$13.
So yeah, you're enjoying. How many hours did you say you spend on this?
16.
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
open up Tim's sheet here because he's the one keeping track of your soul fuel. I'm gonna take the.
That's a lot of practice time.
Sure is.
Well, I see you guys in the hand. I'm like, might as well, learn how to use it. What happens to Mateo and Tim go down?
Then I use a spell that gives me proficiency in something. And
Yeah,
I don't know that.
We'll say over
Immediately.
the course of 16 hours, you don't spend the entire time here. Occasionally you drive out of the Emporium and you spend some time driving around in the area. Like you never leave eyesight of the Emporium as you're driving around, but you're kind of practicing a little bit. And you're not suddenly proficient in land vehicles, but you feel like you've started the process of training.
Yes, all right.
You do it for about 8 hours, and then you drive back in and you take a long rest in the Emporium, and then you go out, you take another 8 hours, you come back, and then at that point everyone's leaving the Emporium. So
I'm fine with that.
I think I'm gonna do my third and final performance check.
yeah, let's see. So yeah, Harry, what I see for you is you're spending about 8 hours long resting, 8 hours pampering, and 8 hours performing. So let's see
Yeah.
how you do in that 8 hours of performance.
All right, Senny. This is the biggest concert stage of my life, except for that time I was performing in a major city for super long. Let's not fuck this up. Well, that was weird. Got 17.
Either way,
twice
it's
on
19.
accident.
So yeah.
Yeah. Got the same number twice on accident.
Yeah,
Jay,
you
what's
do.
your blacksmithing at, by the way? Do you want mithril bars?
It's yeah, no, it's way above that. I don't need mithril anymore, thanks though.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, if you guys want to take a quick break, that's fine too. This would actually be a good time for it. So we want to call it like a quick 5-minute break?
Yeah, I need a pee.
Okay, sounds good.
Actually, I'll be logging off because I need to basically let my leg heal, and I've been sitting on this chair.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you
Alright.
guys just want to, we'll pick up at the end of this 24-hour period. So for you, Old Jar, we'll say that you spent all the time outside doing
Yeah.
that. So yeah, you can just be done,
Oh.
and we'll pick up after that.
Yeah.
And then
Alright.
I'll spend the rest of the time figuring out what Harry, Ezra, and Mateo do.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. See you guys next week.
Okay.
Have a great week. Bye.
You too. Bye.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So Jay, how did that performance go?
Pretty good. Most of there is actually a bard service within the spa area, and there's actually a rather large inn.
Oh fuck! So I was competing with them.
No, actually, with a 19, you actually just added to what they're already doing. It wasn't competitive at all. In fact, they enjoyed working with you, and you started to make a connection with the other minstrels that are not only employed but live there. He clearly he was being a little facetious when he told you that entertainment wasn't common, because they do have some very amateurish performers there that will travel in, and but definitely nothing as experienced or as quality as you. So if anything, you kind of take them under your wing a little bit and teach them some of like how you like to perform and your style, and you feel like both parties would have grown from this experience, and it was very enjoyable. But you don't really get anything extra from it. Like, you don't earn more pay, but you feel like you feel really good that you gave them a good experience that was worth the value of you being able to barter for less to gain entrance. And you kind of endear yourself to people that are there,
Okay.
which you think may make it easier for you or your companions to strike deals with anybody and that kind of thing.
No tips.
Not in
Like
the
that.
inn, at least, no. But
Yeah.
you would imagine that a lot of the people that have come here and actually gained entrance probably don't have a whole lot of extra money, because it's kind of expensive.
True. I go talk to, I guess, that guy I was supposed to talk to
Mm-hmm.
for the feast. Tell him I was first. First for my
Excellent.
party. Do I still get that feast? Is that on the table?
Yeah, and he
or-
would present you with a. It almost looks like a picnic basket. It's a small wicker basket, and he says, "In order to open this, you have to say the command word." And he passes you a small piece of parchment that has the word orange on it. He says, "Not
Oh,
it won't trigger if you say the word, but if you attempt to open it, you will have to say the word, and then it will be successfully opened, and you'll be able to utilize the spell within."
and just curious, is the spell within what provides the feast?
Yes,
So that's already cast then. Perfect.
yes, the spell is already
There you go.
cast within it.
And
You do not need the material components for it. No.
by any chance, is this basket capable of storing other spells in the future?
Well, like any container, it could be enchanted to do so, yes, but once it's utilized, it will no longer contain any magical prowess or implement.
Okay, so it's not like a spell storing ring.
No.
All right, sounds good. Huh. Do you know where
And it's about this point that Lulu would actually kind of float up behind you, and he would look a little surprised to see Lulu. And I think I don't want to do this interaction without everybody here. So I'm just gonna because we're missing people, I'm gonna hold this part for next time. But we'll say that you have an interaction between him and Lulu that we'll go over next time.
You could just hit a you could hit a flashback moment, and then the flashback moment is actually just us having the interaction for the first time.
Yeah. It's like you'll go back out there and you'll say, "Guys, you never guess what happened."
Yeah, right. I'll be like,
And then
by
we'll
the
have
way,
the interaction.
guys,
Yeah,
this-
that sounds great.
Yeah, I'll be like, by the way, this happened, and I didn't know if I should tell y'all, but
Okay. Sounds good.
That's actually pretty cool. But I was about to ask him where, which I guess I'd ask him after this weird interaction, or where Old Jar was, if he had seen him recently, or the dragonkin guy.
Oh, I haven't seen him in here. Do you know if he purchased admittance here?
No, he didn't.
Ah,
I guess he must have went back to our infernal war machine.
well, he's welcome to stay safe within the confines of the Emporium, but it's up to him whether or not he wants to have an hour of comfort or a day of comfort and leisure. I understand that not all see the value in enjoying life at such expense.
So, y'all barter magic items here.
We do.
Does that mean y'all have like a lot of magic items, or?
More than most, I would say. The whole point of the Emporium is to have the opportunity to trade, and that often comes with having to have some sort of currency and stock to trade in.
Okay. I know there was a store here that looked like possibly they like delivered goods to other planes. Do you know how expensive that would be to go to like the material plane, or would I have to go over there to find that out?
You would have to go there to find out. I don't run their business. I only am aware of it and allow it to operate here.
Okay. I guess I'll go do that. I go see about getting an item transported to the material plane and then back here.
Okay.
I think there's a magical circle, the place that I'm trying to send it to as well. But I don't I don't think I've memorized it or anything. But maybe they already have touch with it. That town that we came from to go to Avernus. I'm trying to send word there about my magic item, and possibly procure one of my own magic items.
So when you get there, you meet Katala, who is a Mizu, and these are hard to pronounce sometimes.
Mizu?
But here, yeah, let me go ahead and give you a visual.
I was about to say, what the fuck does that mean?
Come on, roll 20. You can load it. There you go. There's your visual. Yeah, very refined, a very refined looking devil. And they would actually inform you that they do not currently have any means of transporting items across planes.
Do they have the ability to use spell scrolls like that? I pull out my own scroll of plane shift. Well, I do, but I don't have a guaranteed way to use this. Is it possible that you have a guaranteed way to use this?
Well, such magics are quite powerful. Actually, you know what? Yes. They would look at that scroll and say, yes, theoretically, I could utilize this, but it is a one-way ticket.
Dang, so I wouldn't be able to go back and forth with it.
No, it's the scroll itself is used for the plane shift spell, which I do have. I do have the capability to cast it from the scroll, but I'm not actually familiar with that spell myself. It's not within my normal means.
Well, I'll tell you what. My party was worried about how we would get out of Avernus, and they at no point in time have felt like we've got a safe way out of here. Would I, clearly not right now, but when the occasion came, would I be able to pay you to use this scroll on us to send us back to the material plane?
See, the problem is that the scroll teleports the user and those around them. And I have no desire to travel to the material plane.
So I'd have to
Let
pay
alone
you
if
quite a
I
bit.
did not have a way to come.
Well, shit. How do you normally transport things around Avernus, if you don't mind me asking?
We have imps that essentially act as couriers that can get things securely across Avernus.
Okay, that's pretty smart.
Whether it's a simple transfer of information or physically taking a parcel.
Okay. Are you familiar with the new Elturel?
Yes, of course. The Emporium traveled underneath it on the way here. It was quite an interesting sight to behold.
So you said parcels and stuff. What would you say is like the heaviest weight that you would be able to deliver? It wouldn't have to be in one trip either, I suppose.
Well, we have two pricings. For any parcel weighing 5 pounds or less, we would charge 100 gold. to travel anywhere in Avernus. For parcels larger, we could do up to 50 pounds, but they cost 500 gold or 1 soul coin to take anywhere in Avernus.
You said up to 50 pounds.
Up to 50 pounds, yeah.
Okay.
That will require one of our larger devil compatriots, as an imp can only carry so much.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's only 25 rations. Do you do bulk deals by any chance for even larger amounts?
Tell me what you have in mind, and perhaps we can strike a deal.
I would like to purchase a bunch of food and water at as much as I can at another location in the Emporium and have it dropped off at the castle in El Toro.
A very altruistic request.
Yeah.
Make an intelligence check.
An intelligence check or
Mhm.
a wisdom check? Okay. Intelligence.
Too bad it wasn't a disadvantage, because if you failed that check, I was gonna say you're confused. You've never heard the word altruistic before. But no, with a 13, you know exactly what they said.
Intelligence.
But yeah, they would say, let's see. So how much are you wanting to purchase, and how much are you wanting them to send? We'll see if they are willing to put a deal together for you, or what kind of deal.
Let's see. So I imagine that they've gone through everything that I gave them, as well as they've probably run pretty damn low.
You don't know. You haven't been in contact with El Toro.
If not,
for all you
I don't
know,
know
they
how
could
much
all
they
be dead
have.
at this point. Like, you don't know.
Well, if they're all dead, then I'm fucking wasting my time in this plane. But I imagine that they were running low on their own supplies. And I gave them enough for like maybe a week for the whole entire lot of them. Do we know about how many people were in El Terrell still?
It was hundreds that were down there in that basement. It was a lot of people. But they appeared to have a priest there, that was of some repute. They had water. They had all the water they would need, because they had they had those 2 fountains that were constantly creating water.
That's true. They did tell us that when I tried to give them water too.
Right. So and in fact, you guys were able to fill up on your water supply there. Clean, fresh water, which is very rare in Avernus. But yeah, they were able to. You were able to give them some rations, and you would have surmised that they would have been dead already if they hadn't had some way of creating food. So you would imagine from what you've seen from like Ezra's spellcasting that they were able to create food. You don't know if it was enough to supply everybody down there, but it was enough at least that they hadn't died. They had survived months in Avernus.
Yeah, because if I remember the description, they were like all like turning basically like decrepit from having like barely enough to survive. And that's why I was like, okay, here's fruits, vegetables, nuts, and cheese for my guy.
Yeah. You guys did also
I
beat
did give them like 100 rations as well.
right, but you
Probably.
guys also beat back the forces that were keeping them, stationed there. So you'd imagine they probably could have gone out and foraged more in the city. You're not 100% sure. You guys haven't checked up on El Terrell, but yeah, you would imagine they probably are doing okay still, but probably wouldn't be hurt if you had sent this. It's just makes it more secure, makes it so maybe you guys don't have to hurry so much, because you guys are kind of I wouldn't use the word dawdling, but you certainly are not acting in haste down here. So there's definitely a part of you that in the back of your mind thinks, oh, these people in El Terrell are waiting for us to save them, but we're being very thorough in this. So yeah, there's a part of you that's like, well, at least if we send them supplies, I won't have to feel so guilty about dawdling.
Yeah, I'd like to send 400 rations.
Okay, and what's the total weight of that?
800 pounds.
Okay. So what you do in that is you actually you mention this to Fatala, and he tells you that they don't think that there's a way for them to facilitate that much, but that she would actually go on your behalf and mention your interest in this to Madali directly and see if there's anything they can do. And on that, they mentioned that in 1 week's time, they were planning to pack up and choose their next destination for the Wandering Emporium. So essentially, what they would do is they would agree that in 1 week, they'll travel there, and they'll actually supply whatever amount of rations you want to purchase directly to them.
How many rations do they have?
Well, in a week's time, we could probably procure however much that you'd like to purchase, but rations aren't exactly cheap here in Avernus. You must understand. And you actually hadn't attempted to purchase them from them yet.
That's true. How much would a ration be?
Well, first of all, the only thing that they have available are fine rations. Because they don't sell just regular food here. But they said they could probably in a week's time create. Well, that was overly dramatic.
The timing of that was
They
awesome.
could create
100 rations. They could probably create 500. They could probably create 500 rations, but the fine rations are going to cost 1 gold apiece. So they will deliver whatever you want to buy of that. If you want to purchase all 500 gold of it, they will transport it for free when they travel next, which is in about a week. But it's just a matter of whether or not you want to put together the 500 gold for them to make all of those fine rations.
If I give you 4 spirit coins, will you stay there an extra week and give them 1,000 gold worth of rations? Or is that against policy to not move?
You mean soul coins?
Yeah, they said a soul coin's worth 500 gold here.
That's true.
How many soul coins do we have?
I have 4.
Oh, you have 4 personally?
Yeah, he traded a bunch for his staff.
I traded a
Oh.
fucking rare magic staff that I didn't even know was rare until I tried to trade it. I literally was holding on to it like, man, this is garbage, and
That's
I
a
fucking tried to
really
trade it.
that's a really good deal for him. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Tell him. I'd also tell him as well that if I can convince my party to stop by Elturel in the
Stop by El Terrell.
I suppose stop
What
by
is
El
this
Terrell
song?
while they're there, that I would perform for free while there, and just because I want the people there to, I don't know, feel a little better. Let's roll that first.
Feel a little better.
See, that's why it was a
12. No modifiers to that either, huh?
No, I didn't ask Senny for help. I was overconfident.
Okay. So, he says that for 4 soul coins, that's double the price though. Like the original was 500, so that's 1 soul coin. So you're asking him to double the amount of time and materials,
if he'll stay there
or
for the
or
if he'll stay there for a
quadruple the
whole week.
cost. Yes. So 12 is enough. That DC would actually be 10 because you're making a very, very good offer to him.
Nice. I did that on accident.
Right. Sometimes stupidity has its advantages, you know.
Wait till Oljar hears that I fucking spent 4 soul coins on feeding Elturel. How shitty he's gonna feel. Yeah, they're gonna sing songs in praise of Harry, not songs in praise of the Motley Crew.
Oh, he's gonna be upset, but not for the reason you think. But yeah, so yeah, he says that that's a deal. Next week they will go and they'll essentially set up the Emporium under El Terrell, or as close as they can get to it without being in the direct path of the war that's going on underneath El Terrell. So it'll probably be a few miles out, but it'll be enough that they can constantly be creating these fine rations, and the imps will, and their fleet of courier imps will essentially be spending all of that time flying rations up there. And he would mention that this will actually be something that I believe will please Zerial. She's interested in capturing the souls of all these mortals that are in El Terrell. So, in order for them to do that, ideally they have to either stay alive there long enough to feature their contract. I suppose if they perish, then technically she would also gain access to their souls, but I imagine she would rather have them working in life rather than just becoming a lowly Lemur. So this would give her more time.
Okay, well, I've never met or talked to or haven't even really discussed with anyone who knows Ariel. So I guess that's good to know. We're actually trying to find her sword for her. But I don't even really know what that looks like, so it's kind of hard.
Well, that would probably be a magical item of great value, I imagine. Sword of a former archangel.
Well, I know, right? Like, you would think Zerial would want the sword of Zerial, right? Like, I'm sure, like, that would be something to bargain for. but I don't really even know what it looks like, so I'm just kind of going with the flow here. But I really appreciate that. That's a good deal for me too, honestly. Good deal for you guys. I'm sure that they might not like to see a bunch of imps flying at them at first, as these are humans from the material plane.
Well, you forget that imps are capable of transforming themselves to look like something else. Typically,
I was actually gonna suggest maybe you did that, or like let off with a human.
well,
envoy.
they will likely transform into ravens in order to carry the parcels.
No, I'm basically fucking Odin, bitches. I am the Odin for this small city right now. All right, well, thank you. Here's your 4 spirit coins, or soul coins, or
They're doing business with you.
yeah. Honestly, I hope I can stop by and see y'all when you are near Elturel.
Well, you know where we'll be for at least the next 3 weeks, so
yeah,
feel free to come by.
Honestly, I'm probably like the softest creature in this entire trade town right now, like
And
all
likely the fuzziest.
extra fluffy and stuff. So I just kind of like start stroking my fur, and I'm like, honestly, I haven't been this fluffy in a while, so I can't wait to stop by the spa again.
For a haircut.
Oh my. No, I believe for a haircut, you would actually go over to the barber.
I'd like to go to the barber for a haircut.
Well, while you're doing that, Ezra, what would you like to do while you make your entrance into the infernal rapture?
Yeah, I don't know. What
You would
do I
also be
see?
included in the interaction with Lulu, but we'll do that, next time.
Okay. And so, what do I see here?
So yeah, the first thing you walk in to see is what looks to be a very large and comfortable inn. But there are multiple different spaces to this little extra planar area. Very very comfortable, very lush, almost too good to be true. But it is, it's clearly a conjured space, but it's very high class. But it has a wide variety of different patrons that are there. You do see some devils that appear to be nothing, none that are like seem to be incredibly high ranking, but also none that are low ranking either. A lot of mid rank devils. You see like a bone devil, much like the one you guys had encountered at the tower that was dipping their fingers and their toes and tail into the river Styx. You also see one of the Nerzagons that are there, seemingly having meetings with different mortal entities. You see a couple of different humans that are there. You see a dragonborn, none of these that you recognize, but you see these are either other travelers within Avernus or people that have come here specifically from some other plane. So you can feel free to try to talk to any of them that you want to. But yeah, then you also eventually you're able to go and see that there is a spa area. There's also a dining hall that's more specifically put together for purposes of fine dining, rather than just the inn. For more regular drink and snacks and stuff.
Yeah. Is there a place to just have a drink?
Yeah, that would just be the inn.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Is there like a bar to sit at, or do you get a table, or what's the setup?
Yeah, you can there is a bar, and you see there is an interesting creature that you don't think you've seen before. It almost looks it's hard for me to describe it. It almost looks like a not an otter, more like a weasel. Let's see. Easier if I just show you rather than.
Dude, I've got like 10,000 hours on World of Warcraft, and I just now noticed that there's a day-night cycle.
Yep, there always has been. That's one of the main things that they set the game up with.
Yeah, but like I actually just like saw the moon moving for the first time and was like, wait a minute. The moon moves.
Yep. I don't have it in here. That would make sense. That's why I can't find it. Well, I should. Should have it in here.
Well, maybe this would be a good place for us. I mean, Old Jard popped off as well, I guess. I didn't realize that till a couple minutes ago.
I think he fell asleep on the 5-minute break.
No, he said he was getting tired and had a sore leg. But here, I found it, so let me just boy, for some reason, Roll20 is just moving super slow.
It was lagging for me too. Their server might be struggling.
I opened it up. But it's a creature called a Rakshasa.
Oh.
Rock lobster. No, that's
down.
That's a rock lobster.
I'm sorry. You know what? I got my it is a Rakshasa, but I got my descriptions on my creatures mixed up. But yes, this is what the Rakshasa looks like. More of like a lioness kind of creature. But yeah, he kind of runs the inn portion of it. So yeah, he would serve you drinks. And is there anything in particular you're looking for while you're in here? Or just good food and drinks and just chatting with everybody?
Yeah, mostly just chatting, I guess.
Okay. Well, you have some interesting conversations. People in here come from a different wide range of backgrounds and are here for several different reasons, whether it's for a specific trade deal that they were looking for, or some of them have a history with Mahadi or somebody else here in Avernus that they were looking to meet with. Nothing in particular stands out to you directly, though. It's interesting to take some time and respite that you haven't really had while you've been here in Avernus. Normally when you're adventuring, you do have some downtime to go and spend a week in a small town, and you'll go to the inn and you'll talk with some of the locals, just like this. And you
Yeah.
start to realize that it's something you maybe were taking for granted before you had to come to this place.
I never took that shit for granted.
Yeah, I'll just say as much to the Rakshasa.
Yeah.
A rock lobster.
Just yeah, I'll say it is nice to be able to sit and just relax, and we've been on the go for a long time.
Well, that's why I took this job in particular. It's very interesting to see what different manners of beings come down and want to just have that break and that timeout.
Hmm. What were you doing before this?
Well, I was always very interested in chasing money.
Hmm.
I was always I was a bit of a magic. I've always been a bit keenly adept at magic, but my pursuits led me more towards coin than towards enjoying life.
Hmm.
And, that's when I came across the Wandering Emporium and kind of had an experience here in this inn and didn't really want to leave.
You had an experience? What kind of experience?
Well, I mean, just the experience that sort of the same experience that you're going through. That
Hmm.
the whole idea of stopping and slowing down after being just nonstop on the go. And I realized that life should be about more than coin.
Hmm. How long have you been here?
It's been a few years now. Well, I believe.
Do you feel
Time
like it?
time passes a little strangely though in Avernus.
Does it? Hmm. You feel like this is where you want to be?
Maybe not forever, but it's certainly been a nice respite.
Hmm. What do you see yourself doing after this?
I think I'd like to be my own boss rather than always working first or chasing something in particular. I think I'd like to own something that's uniquely mine.
Hmm. I understand the draw for that.
Maybe I'll go find somewhere where I can start my own pub.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Do you feel like you've left the pursuit of coin behind? Like, do you still feel like that's pushing you, or are you looking for more of a maybe less coin but more comfort kind of a situation?
Yes, I think at this point I'm beginning to value experience over coin. It's hard to
Mhm.
have one without the other, but I think it's more about striking a good balance.
Mhm. Well, ever find your way to the mortal plane? I mean, maybe we can help you get something started there.
Hmm. Well, if you have any ideas that of a place that needs a good inn, let me know. Maybe I'll see about setting something up there.
Yeah, we might actually. We've got a little area. We've been. It's a long story, but wound up with a castle, and it's almost a whole village that was wiped out. But the buildings are still standing, and we're sort of hoping to repopulate it and get something going there again. That'd be a great place for an inn. we'll make sure to check back. Do we still we're in the middle of lots of things in Avernus right now, but it'll probably be a little while before we make it back. But if that's something that interests you, maybe we can chat more about it down the road.
Certainly. Imagine a couple weeks out in Avernus would make anyone want a nice hot bath and a good meal.
I'm already there. Probably a cold bath.
You can do that whole one hot, one cold. You can do the
There you go.
ice into the warm.
That's right.
That's an experience. Let me tell you.
Someone explained to me that like one of those is like really healthy for you, and the other one can like send you into shock.
I mean, it's more the extreme. It's the going back and forth. That could shock you. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because I went to this spa pool place once that's kind of like got all of the like do-it-yourself spa shit. It's got like a dry sauna, steam sauna, like 3 different temp hot tubs, fucking like a like pool you just like drift around in circles in. I forget what those are fucking called. And then it had like an ice bath cold, like fucking tub, and then like a fucking you couldn't even describe it as a hot tub. There's like no bubbles in it or anything. It's like still water, but it's like fucking it's like almost boiling.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
my friend would like get in the fucking really hot one, and like I could like barely even get in the hot one. Like I couldn't get in it all the way even. I would just like get my legs in it maybe. He would get in like fucking to his like shoulders, and then he would just go cannonball into this like 30-degree water, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Ways you know that you're alive.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised he fucking didn't die. Actually, there was at least like an 80-degree temperature difference in those waters.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that. Like there was warning signs on both of them that were like, do not stay in here for like longer than a minute or two.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
they'll put those on there because
then
people pass out.
Homie would fucking go in one, like sit there for like a minute, and then he'd fucking like cannonball into the other one. I'm just like, bro, I can't even get all the way into one of these. Like,
Well, at that point, you feel like you're burning so much that you want to go directly into the other one to balance it, and then you realize, oh, that's not balance.
yeah, that's just like hot cold. Your muscles are burning, but your skin is freezing.
Well, guys, I think I'm ready to call it a night here. I gotta
Alrighty.
get up early.
We had
Yeah,
the
thank
slow
you.
trickle finish tonight, but yeah, we'll pick up in the Emporium next week.
Sounds good. We got halfway through that mission. Kind of. Maybe a third of the way through.
Maybe not the most productive session ever. You're right, but it was
somebody else fucked up when they said shopping session. I didn't say shopping session.
That's what
Somebody
happens.
else said shopping session.
We all get excited. Ooh,
Yay, shopping!
I think, to be fair, though, as productive as we didn't feel for